You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Oh. Gonna let it soak a little bit here, Amby. I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit.
This one hurts.
Is this AI or is this real?
It's real.
Oh, it makes it even sadder. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't know where you found this. I don't know what you typed in to get this.
Just out there in the cold.
Do we have a backstory with this, or is just he's chilling?
No, I found it, and it described my situation. So,
is it snowing where he's at right now? Because it looks like he should be in a tropical climate, sir. It looks like it's snowing in his eyes.
at least raining.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Amby. This is it's a great kickoff to the show. Appreciate you. Brent Martineau, welcome in. How we doing? That's what I'm saying. Looks a little too chilly to be wherever he's at right now. Somebody get him out of there.
That really the feeling of the fan base? Like, what is the fan base feeling? Like, how much sadness versus disappointment versus start of something versus, where is it? Like, doesn't feel angry. It's not an angry fan base, I don't think. Or
I mean, okay.
We've come in here many times where it's angry, right, after a loss.
Do you want me to speak as a former player, a current fan, or a member of the media?
Well, try all three because this might get us into a different topic.
Okay, but there's I have different thoughts for each version.
Okay, go ahead then.
Which one do you want? You want the fan? You want what the fans
I want
are
the
thinking?
fan first, yeah.
I think the fans right now are kind of pissed off because, and once again, this is me. I don't want to speak for every single fan, but I think being in that stadium and also dealing with Bills fans, by the way, which was interesting because I was expecting like them to kind of like get all in the Jaguars fans' face and everything. I think everybody in that stadium knew the exact same thing, that the worst team won. Like the less talented team won. And I don't want to say the Bills got lucky because at the end of the day, it's football, right? And quote unquote, the better team's supposed to win. But I think Bills fans, I think Jags fans all feel the same way where the Jags kind of let them off the hook, if you will. And
to that point, just real quick, my buddy texted me. He's like, the better team didn't win.
Of course,
and he's from up in New England. He's not a Jags fan. He's just like the better team.
Dude, even Bills fans, came up to us after the game. We're walking out and they're like, "Hey, we'll take it, but you guys should have had that." So like, I think that's frustration then with Jags fans knowing that penalty here, penalty there, a miscommunication in the back end of zone coverage there. Interception here, like just a play call here was the difference. And if you just change maybe one or two of those things around, I think we're feeling a different type of way right now on a Monday. So I think there's frustration, honestly, with the fans.
Yeah, I sense that too. I didn't look at it from that lens, I will say. I didn't sit here and say, like, wow, they got away with it. I think the Bills are pretty good too. Like, I think the number one pass defense of the Bills, everybody's like, well, it's not really the number one pass defense. I thought the corners played pretty damn good. I thought they confused things for Trevor early on in that game. I thought they did some things that limited what the Jags wanted to do that made it feel a little clunky, and that only allowed for 24 points instead of 31 points, where I thought they had to get. I thought they had to get north of 27 to win the game. So I think there was some good coaching by McDermott. I think he's a bit underrated at times with that 98-50 record. I think it is in the regular season. So I didn't walk away thinking like, man, that team sucks in Buffalo. I think they're pretty damn good too. But I get what everybody's saying. I do feel like this was a good Jags team. The biggest takeaway for me on that part of it, Austin, is, and maybe this is the new age of the NFL, but all my life, and I'm almost 50 years old now, if you played a playoff game and the more physical team didn't win, it would be stunning. The Jags were the more physical team. They bullied them.
100%.
They absolutely whooped them. I mean, they sent them to the tent twice. They were knocking people into next week on defense. LaQuinn Allen did it again on special teams to the best return man in the game on kickoffs.
Tossing his body around.
And then they ran for like 9 yards a carry. Like, they were absolutely bullying. They were the more physical team by a landslide in that game. And when you have that in the postseason, you usually win the football game. I think that was probably the stunner for me in that sense. So maybe that's where everybody comes away with, I don't feel like the best team won that game. I just hadn't thought about it in that context, I guess, yet.
Yeah, because I think it comes down to, once again, it just comes down to mental mistakes. And I think through this run, this win streak of the Jaguars, we saw a brand of football where you didn't have penalties that came back to bite you. You didn't really see a lot of mental breakdowns in the secondary and everything. And yeah, I get it. You're playing against Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's a great quarterback. But I didn't walk out thinking wow, Josh Allen just won the football game with Brandon Cooks and Keon Coleman. I thought, wow, the secondary wasn't on the same page, and these guys were wide open. Didn't matter if it was Brandon Cooks. Didn't matter if it was Keon Coleman, a guy who'd been benched for half the season. Didn't matter if it was Jason Hamby catching routes. Guys were wide open.
3 busted coverages.
Yeah, and that's frustrating. Yeah, Hamby, you cannot, maybe against inferior teams during the season, like the Jets and things, you get away with it.
Yeah.
You can't have that in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was disappointing because they've been on the same page.
Yeah.
They really have. It doesn't matter who you put back there. They've really been in unison.
They played their worst game by far in the secondary in a long time.
Jarian Jones, I think, missing practice and not feeling good, wasn't himself. I don't think he played great. And obviously there's some Newsome talk, but is that a Murray? Probably talk about the play, that big play. But, that's a pick if they play it right. Josh Allen threw it up for grabs.
Yeah, he did.
It might be a pick. It might not be, but it might be a pick. He absolutely just threw it up like a punt. And hoped that he was there, and it worked out that he was there. So, by the way, quick thing on, I think, Duval T was what do you mean they bullied him? There was a 10-yard quarterback sneak. I get there was the one play where people were actually controversially talking about whether it should be legal to carry the quarterback to the 1-yard line. But that was the one play that they were physical on. 4th and inches plays where Josh Allen's very, very big and tough to stop, I get. But overall in that game, the Jags were a way more physical football team. Hands down.
Well, they sent Josh Allen to the tent twice, right? Parker got hit, though, too. He got sent to, it was a physical game. But, yes, I think the Jaguars' defense, they came out and said, hey, we have a chance at Josh Allen. And I don't mean this in a dirty way.
Yeah.
But let's go in and inflict some physicality on him. And that was apparent from, the first drive on.
All right, so that's a fan perspective, right? Give us the...
Well, and also real quick too, the whole fan perspective of the play calling on 4th down, that's
which
huge.
We'll get it. Okay. That in the run game, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to get your thoughts quick on the player perspective. Then,
how
would you think about it?
I think on the player perspective, you're obviously pissed off right now of what happened, but I think there's a lot to like going forward. Now, the thing about that is that not every player in that locker room is going to be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be guys that are going to be let go. There's going to be guys that they're not going to re-sign, and there'll be guys that some guy will get franchise tagged, I'm sure, and some guys will get re-signed, but it's not going to be the same. So a part of me is okay, if I'm a player, I'm all right. In retrospect, when we take time to analyze it, there's a lot of things to like going forward, but you also are aware of you're only as good as your last game. So I think there's a lot of frustration right now from players in that locker room as well.
Yeah, this is the one to me where I feel very similar to 2023, where I would call this a missed op.
Yep.
And 23, I just remember saying this. I was just, all you had to do was win one more game. And what you did is you changed things because you had gone back-to-back years to the postseason. You had now found some sustainability with what you did in 2022 off the magic of 22, where you were kind of a somewhat dominant team in 23, where you're 8-3, number 1 seed, and then you flop out of the playoffs. And so that was, to me, a huge missed opportunity just to win one more game. This one is a different kind of missed opportunity. I don't think they just didn't seize it the way we had hoped because we knew the opportunity knocked. Everybody. In the broadcast, I got everybody telling me I haven't watched it back, but talking about the Jags, this is a Super Bowl contender. We thought it. They thought it. It seems like the world started to think about it once they did their deep dive research on the Jags, right? That who knows, but they thought that they are good enough in this way open NFL playoffs to maybe make that run. And for that, I feel like it's a missed opportunity for the Jags.
Yeah. And everything was going to be set up so nicely because the Jags beat the Bills, and you want to talk about what the motivation was going to be. The entire, whether it was the Bills media or the national media, was going to say Josh Allen lost the game and the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't win. Yep. If you wanted to know what the Jaguars going to use as motivation going into the Patriots, I'm sure as underdogs, that was going to be the narrative.
Yeah,
that was going to be the talking point of everyone's talking about what Josh Allen didn't do as opposed to talking about our team. It was It was there, and obviously,
and you know me, I've liked the
we'll
Patriots
never
matchup
know.
all the way back for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I just did not mind the Patriots matchup, so we'll see. Again, missed opportunity in my opinion in that regard. If you're a player, if you're a coach, and I really think from a fan perspective in Jacksonville, oh man, and hey. Then there's that part of it. I think a lot of people like Delphonic, tough loss, great season. Absolutely, and you should enjoy it and note it, and it could be the start of something. We're just going to have to wait and see if it's the start of something. All right, the final one, how about from the media perspective? Is this where the criticism comes in?
A little bit, I think. It's funny because first play of the game, I go to my friends, who, by the way, I believe we're on Action Sports Jacks. You guys interviewed them, so that was cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I go to my friends and my son, and I go, watch how they come out. If they come out with 2 tight ends, which they haven't done in a lot, it's a good sign they're going to win this game. Because I don't know if I broke it down in this show or the pregame show, whatever, but when you look at Liam Coen last season as the play call of the Buccaneers and they played the Commanders, it was essentially the exact same matchup.
You brought it up here last week.
Yeah, it was the exact same matchup. They played a Commanders team that I think was 29 or 30th in stopping the run. And they played a Commanders team that was like, I think, top 5 in stopping the pass. A lot of the same similarities going in this Bills game. If you watch that Commanders game from, the Buccaneers last season, Liam Coen wanted to pass the ball first and then run later. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have handed the ball off. Shouldn't have enforced your will because that's where Washington could have been beat. So now we fast forward to the Buffalo Bills game. We know what it is. They can't stop the run. Worst in the league. They come out with 2 tight ends. I'm like, the Jags going to win this game. Because he's going to take what the Bills give him, and he's going to run the football. And then it comes out with a jet sweep, and it's like, man, did you kind of outthink? And I get it, the jet sweep sets up other things, right? Down the line, it set up some other stuff that was positive. But to me, it's just sometimes you got to go with the meat and potatoes. And sometimes, and it's surprising, too, because the first part of the season, the Jags were the meat and potatoes.
I know.
Pounding the football. Enforcing their will, being the physical team. And then for whatever reason, they shy away from it the first drive. They come back to it, and then they bring Tootin in, and all of a sudden now we're starting to get something. And then it's kind of like you shy away from it again. For no reason. It was like, okay, well, does Trevor have some record to break? All right, let's go ahead and get him some. Like, no, this is the playoffs. Every play matters. Every play call matters. And I wonder when you saw ETN up the middle for whatever it was 13 and you saw Tootin on the edge getting his yards, like, why go away from it?
I'll go back to what I said last week. And this was my biggest question of the game. 2 things. I thought the game plan here should be to turn it into the Chargers game. Mm-hmm. They ran it 47 times for 200 yards and said, you can't stop us. Now, listen, I also know that when you're very weak in that area, usually, you come out with your hair on fire and you're going to try to stop the run, right? So I thought maybe they could try to do it, and it might not work because when you really try to stop the run, even if you're not super talented, you can do it, right? It's a want-to kind of thing. Yeah. And if you're just disciplined, you can do it with 11 guys. So if they just said, hey, we're going to try to stop the run, the funny thing is, they never really did that. It was like they knew Liam was going to put it in Trevor's hands.
I know.
And I thought you would come in here today a little bit too, and again, this goes back to last week's conversation. If you really want to pull when we were doing this game, I did it in the pregame show too. My biggest question: are they coming out and passing and putting it in Trevor's hands, or are they going to go back to the run game, even though they haven't done it the last month? Are they going to attack the weakness of the Buffalo Bills? And they never really did on a consistent basis. And for that, I thought you would say something similar to how you've been talking about Green Bay. You've got a little bit of an identity crisis because you want to be physical. They preach this whole thing all offseason. We are going to be physical. Mm-hmm. And they were. They were a physical football team every week. They brought it. But I thought they had a chance to impose their will in this game on the Buffalo Bills, and they never really tried to. On a consistent basis. They ran the hell out of the ball. They actually were pretty balanced from an NFL standpoint in a game, like 30 passes and 20 runs. That's reasonable, and I think that's what probably Coen will lean on. And here's my one probably argument against myself. How can you blame Liam too much when they took the lead twice on offense in the fourth quarter and scored and took the lead, get the 24 points? Well, I think what caught them a little bit at the end of the day is the lack of time of possession, and that's an area where they had beaten teams a lot this year. So, and it was 9.8 yards a carry at one time. It's like, oh my gosh, why are you This was like in-game kind of moments. So this isn't hindsight stuff. This was, hey, there's a 25-yard run down to the 20-yard line, and then it's a drop back to pass. Why? Like, why? Run the ball. Like, you know those times when you're watching a game, you're like, please just run the ball. Hand off. Now, I also think it's unfair to just blame Liam maybe in this.
Yeah.
This is Trevor, who also has a hot hand and liked the ball in his hands a lot and can change plays at the line. Maybe Trevor did that too much. Trevor maybe didn't get the appropriate feel for that. And some will say, well, Liam's going to tell him not to. It's like, well, you got to let your guy play, right? I mean, you guys have been playing really well. I understand. I thought it was a true dilemma. Do you go with one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league and put it in his hands? Or do you say, we're going to go run the football, even though we really haven't run the football great in the last month? And I think the dilemma kind of got to him, not to the point where it crippled them, but it actually, in the way it played out, I just don't know how we can't say the Jags should have run the ball a little bit more than they did, and maybe even a lot a bit more than they did specifically in the first 2.5 quarters.
Yeah. You know, I think when you look back at the shift of this Jaguars offense and what it was, you know, we can say, okay, well, they ran the football great the first half of the season, and all of a sudden they switched to Trevor Lawrence. Like, that's not, to me, what it was. To me, it was, and I say this all the time, Liam Coen's identity of this offense was taking what the defense gave him, right? Like, if you go back to Tennessee was great at stopping the run. One would have thought, okay, well, you're getting ready to go to the playoffs. Do you try to run the football a little bit to get ready for Buffalo and other teams, or do you just keep doing what you're doing? They kept doing what they're doing. They beat Tennessee through the air because that's how you beat Tennessee. You beat Buffalo on the ground. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. Like, I really didn't think it was going to be that complicated for Liam Coen to be like, hey, you know what? Watching the film and everything, we see Buffalo, and not only are they getting out physical on the defensive line, but their linebackers, and I get Milano's kind of a big name. Mm-hmm. He hasn't had his best year either.
Yeah.
And like a lot of teams,
injuries
and a lot of teams have ran right at him. So, like, to be fair, and once again, Buffalo won, so props to them, but they didn't scare you in terms of running the football on that defensive line or their linebackers. And once again, you saw shades of it. Just why you choose to go away from it. Because it wasn't like Buffalo was saying, hey, we're going to put everybody on the line of scrimmage and try to stop it. The game plan for Buffalo was they respected, I think, Trevor Lawrence a lot more than Liam Coen was going to anticipate. That's where I think the offense went wrong. I think Liam Coen thought, you know what, Trevor's on the roll right now. He's on a heater and everything, but they can't stop the run. It's going to be they're ready for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they were. I'll dumb this down. And once again, I don't think Liam and Trevor were bad in this game. I really don't. I think they had good moments. I think they showed their resolve. I think they showed their worth. I think there's a lot of good stuff. But I do think at the end of the day, if you're going to give an edge, you gave the edge to Josh Allen and McDermott. And they were the better duo. And so many of these games are really about those two guys from at least a 30,000-foot view, where there's so many different things. You can complain about the Newsomes, Buster Browns, and Jarian Joneses of the world if you want. You can complain about the offensive line if you want. You can complain about Jacoby Myers or Brian Thomas Jr. having like 3 catches combined if you want. Yeah. But most games will come down to, okay, how was the game plan and the in-game execution or calling or whatever, and how did the quarterback play? And again, I don't think they played poorly, those two guys, or I don't think they delivered poorly. I just think they got upstaged a little bit by guys that had been there for the last handful of years and maybe won a bit of the chess match. And we love this about this regime and really love it about Liam Coen. I like him in a chess match. I think he's been outstanding. One of the things someone told me earlier this year, Austin, is just how good he is at feeling the situation and the game flow.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did that to his best on this Sunday. I don't think he did it bad. I just don't think he did it to his best on this Sunday, and that comes back to kicking the field goal or not, and that comes back to did they run the ball enough in real time.
Well, and this is what the Bills did on offense against the Jags defense, is that the Bills did a great job of adjusting, because the Jaguars defense, that game plan was clear. We're not going to get beat in the run game. Go back and watch the film. and watch how much emphasis there was on the run when they had 12 or 13 personnel. And it's something I hadn't really seen all season. Like, there was an extra emphasis on stopping the run because they essentially took, like, whether it's Trayvon Walker, whoever was on the defensive line, they shifted them down to, like, a 3-4 defensive stance to try to just, like, clog the gap, as opposed to when it was play action or when it was, a short pass, getting a pass rush. Like, they took away their pass rushing stance and said, if there's 12 personnel, you guys just get almost like a 4-point stance and get ready to stop the run. Like, that's what the Jaguars did. The Bills counter it. They said, okay, well, if you want to do that and pass rush isn't going to be a premium for you guys, then we'll just have, like, the short screens. We'll just have the short bubbles and everything. That'll be an extension of the run game, and now that's how we're going to start getting some yardage.
And they hurt him on those. I thought Campanile had a good plan overall. Because here's the other thing. I thought they clogged the middle of the field for the tight ends. A lot of people thought the mismatch would be in the tight ends. Yeah. And I don't really think the tight ends didn't go off. I know Kincaid caught the touchdown. Like, that could have been anybody. That was a well-designed play.
They had 3 combined catches.
I mean, really, if I told you 3 combined catches and, 45 yards for Cook?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a job by this defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really comes down to a couple of busts and then obviously the tush push a few times because inches. I mean, this was an inches game in a very broad view. How much did this feel like you were just watching 2 teams in the NFL play in the playoffs like you do every year? That it's like, okay, an inch here, an inch there, a spot here, a spot there, a review here, a review there.
A lot of questionable spots yesterday.
Well, but either way, like, if Trevor gets the first down, we don't ask for the fourth. And they got the first down at first. We don't second guess it. They go up 14-3. They might win this game going away.
Yeah.
Now, at the other side of it, late in the half, if they catch that ball down the middle of the field, kick a field goal, or even score a touchdown, Buffalo starts to win that game going away. And so a couple of things just like that. I really thought this was 2 pretty good teams, 2 playoff-worthy teams in just a good game. And I don't think we want to admit that. We want to blame something, and there's plenty to second guess. I don't really have a lot of blame here. I just have a lot of, you wish they made this play or that play. You think they could have done it this way or that way. You wonder if it would have worked because I know everybody's going to go to the 4th and 2, and that's the next one. Like, my biggest problem with not taking points, Austin, there is the fact that you don't make them pay for a turnover. That's it. It's not that they went for it. That's his MO. That's what he does. He's going to lean on the analytics. You knew he was going for it, in fact. Like, I kind of felt like I knew he was going for it. Yeah. And I start saying on 3rd down, okay, if they don't get this, they're going to go for it. Like, I know it. But the fact that you don't make them pay, and they're not the only team that didn't do that this week, and I'm pretty sure it was like Chicago on Saturday night. And I'm like, you've got to make people pay for a turnover. You have to, right? You can't turn the football over in the postseason and not get anything out of it, especially on a short field.
Yeah, and this is the ironic thing, and now I wish I would have said it, but in the pregame, I talked about how that Roger Goodell should come in and make a field goal worth 4 points instead of 3, because the way that teams just bypass 3 points,
amazing,
and you claim analytics. And you say, the book says to go for it here as opposed to kick a field goal, which makes 0 sense to me because I don't know how many occasions I've seen just in this playoff alone so far where it hasn't worked out in your favor. Like, one would think eventually it's going to course correct, right? Like, eventually the analytics are going to say kick a field goal here because the past has shown that it's not working when you don't. Like, I hope it course corrects. But nevertheless, when you're in that moment in that game, like, there's momentum, there's points, and then there's desperation, okay? Those are 3 things: momentum, points, and desperation. Right now, the Jaguars, they have the turnover, right? You have momentum on your side.
Coming off a touchdown.
Coming off of a touchdown. Oh, and by the way, we're in the first half, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And so you think you're the better team.
There's plenty of time to go, right? Now, once again, all those things, Brent, they don't go into the analytics. And this is the problem of it, right? Like, you can't put in a computer, all right, well, we're the better team right now. We're kind of playing more physical. Josh Allen seems to be a little banged up and dazed and confused. Like, we got a lot of things going for us right now, and we're just coming off a turnover. What should we do? Beep, 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 beep. Like, that's not how it works. So, and I mean, I could get on a 25-minute rant about analytics and everything and the computers, but
you've never liked it.
I've never liked it. But at the end of the day, you have to have a feel for, is the juice worth the squeeze? And when it's the first half, and you have all the momentum right now, and Buffalo's kind of reeling, you know what? It's okay to take points. It's okay to go against what the book or the computer says and go, you know what? Let's get 3 points because even if it comes back to bite us, we're still going to be in the game towards the end, right? Like, it's one thing if it's the fourth quarter and game on the line. All right, you want to risk it for the biscuit, then so be it. There's plenty of game to go. And if you've seen anything in these playoffs so far up until this game, points are a premium.
Yeah, I was arguing with my kid on Saturday night about Chicago, and he's like, well, you want to kick a field? It was like 14-6, and they could have – no, it was 21-6. If they don't do the stupid fourth down on their own 32, it's 14-6. And they would have – and then they went for it again. I'm like, kick the field goal, man. It's 14-9. It's like, who cares if it's 14-9? You're down a touchdown. I was like, I don't know. I think the points matter. Like, this was in the late third or maybe even early fourth because they keep piling up.
Mm-hmm.
They keep piling up, and they change the way the game flow is potentially. So, now listen, should the defense go give up a 92-yard drive? No. I get the field position stuff of it. There's only one thing here on this. You have to make someone pay for a turnover. You have to. And there's only two ways to make it pay. 3 points or 7 points. That's it. And so you went for the jugular.
Yeah.
I can respect it. But that's why it's criticism, and that's why you second-guess it, because it ended up being the wrong move. I mean, it was an inch of a wrong move. It was a shin of a wrong move.
At the end of the day, he made a good play call.
He did.
I mean, he called the right play.
And so
he slipped.
Yeah, like if I'm him, I can sleep with it. I'm just telling you, it's not just a Liam thing. I think for all these coaches, I would also add in, I am making someone pay for a turnover. If you drove the field and you went for it on 4th and 2, I would feel different. I'd be like, all right, fine, that's what you do. That's cool. But not when you get a turnover. It has to hurt the other team that you got a turnover. It has to. The Jags, it hurt them. They didn't go score a touchdown. Jags defense did a nice job, but they kicked 3 points. It kicked 50-yarder. And then obviously the last one hurt them. So now you take 2 turnovers. The Jags got really hurt. The Bills didn't. That's the difference in the football game.
And once again, you don't convert it. Whether did Trevor slip or he just make a bad decision? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I got to go watch it again because I couldn't tell. Yeah. Some people think he should have dove right, like instead, or should have bullied him over.
Yeah. It was kind of. It seemed to me it was a little mistimed.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, at the end of the day, like that momentum changed then.
Yeah, you bring human error into
swung. It. Yeah, but like the momentum changed there. You know, like.
I'll say one more thing about the. This is why I don't mind his aggressiveness, because I don't think you can just dismiss that the Jags got a field goal off at the end of the half. Because who in the hell, with like 40 seconds to go in the half and no timeouts, from their own 3-yard line, actually drops back and passes and is aggressive late in the half? Who does that? And guess what? That almost worked. They had a 54-yard try where we all thought Cam Little was making it. And if he makes that one, to me, that offsets the 4th and 2 because you kind of got a bonus possession. And now you're like, okay, well, you got the 3 somehow. And Cam missed it. I mean, missed it for the first time in a few months. So I can see, again, some of this, if I'm Liam and I'm processing this, it's like, okay, well, like if Trevor just bowls him over, right, and gets the first down, like we made the right call. Man, if Cam, who hadn't missed in 3 months, makes the kick,
well,
these are good decisions, and we maybe win the game too.
Also, if there's not the penalty with Walker Little to take 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Maybe you get a couple more opportunities to get the ball a little closer. Who knows what's going to happen with 10 more seconds.
About that one.
Well, I didn't because I was
one of two.
I was pretty upset with that one in the stands.
Just a real quick thought on Walker Little. Did he play bad in the game? Or was that like the one moment?
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't great. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he was even. Really
I didn't notice that as much as the timeline. I know everybody's like really down on Walker Little, and I didn't feel like Trevor was under pressure a lot. Now the deflections were coming from that side.
Well,
everything they got, there was like 3 or 4 passes deflected.
Yeah.
In the game, and it came from that side. Now, was that a window of Trevor? Was that Walker Little not doing a good enough job? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the last play of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yeah. That's the Bosa one. Bosa comes in. If he has another second, do you think he goes to Parker Washington?
Well, if he goes another second, Washington, you would think with his speed, like with his route running, would get a little more. Because right now, Trevor couldn't throw because it's going to be a pick with the safety on top.
Yep.
If he could have had another 1 to 2 seconds, I think Washington does beat that safety. He throws it, and it may have been an 88 out the gate.
It might have been. Listen,
Whatever, man.
this is what happened. Oh, this is what happened.
It's going to only make me more upset right now.
This is really what makes me appreciate the NFL so much, that the margins, man, are just so – you played it. I mean, the margins are so thin and just so close, and that's why we get these kind of games. From spots on the field from referees to calls on the field from the referees to a little half-second block to an almost catch to an almost first down. If there were 8 or 10 of those that you go find in this game when you watch it back, my guess is the Jags might have got 3 of them, but lost 7 of those. And that's why they probably lost by 3, And I think if you go to Chicago's game or whatever game and all the great games we had this week, I think you do the same thing. And that's why I do come back to, man, just sometimes you lose a football. Sometimes sports is sports. And this is baseball and this is football. This is pro sports. This is not. There's not a huge gap here. And when there's not a huge gap, and a little play here or there makes a difference. It was a good football game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it was a memorable football game. It was an entertaining. Even at 13-10, I thought it was an entertaining football game. Yeah. And then it really got entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's the NFL, it's what you want, right? It comes down to the last drive. And I don't know, man. It was such a weird thing because time on the clock, Trevor Lawrence, obviously you haven't lost in a while, so you're not even thinking about that. But I didn't see it ending like that. It was just it was so abrupt.
Oh my gosh!
It was.
I literally walked down on the field and it was like boom, happened. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because everybody expects, especially in the NFL, that you're going to go get a kick try.
Of course,
right? You're going to go. You're going to at least get a first down or two. Right. And it was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, man.
That was very like. Well, it wasn't anticlimactic. It was just like, damn.
It was the Grand Penelope fireworks show, and we got snakes and sparklers.
Yeah, It was amazing. I want to ask you about Trevor. Got to ask you about the post game gone viral. Amazing that this is what we're talking about.
2 things I saw on Twitter this morning, and I can't stress this enough. We'll get into the whole press conference thing. Why do we keep entertaining Richard Sherman? Why?
Why would he? I mean,
because now he's popping off about
the last laugh.
Okay, well, great. Go ahead and keep talking about Richard Sherman, everybody, and keep getting in his mentions and making him more popular. You're gonna make him the next Stephen A. Smith. Like his talent in the NFL got him a great gig on Thursday Night Football. The polarization now of Richard Sherman, of people jaw-jacking back and forth with him, is gonna make him the next Stephen A. Smith, and he's never gonna go away.
Duval TV, I have a suggestion for you. I feel like you need to go get a coffee and stop messaging so much. Your hands are getting tired. I mean, I love that you're messaging, but at the same time, you are rocking them off like I rock off a tweet in a game right now.
He's on a heater.
And he's asking if I'm a fan or not. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, but of a Jags fan. I'm like, well, no, I didn't grow up a Jags fan. And I wouldn't say, like, I'm a fan, like you would be a fan of the Jags, but I sure as hell want to see this team win you, the fan. So there's plenty of disappointment here. We wanted to keep rolling. We had I love when this place is electric, and that place was electric yesterday, and that's really, we know a lot of people inside that building. You have an affinity and appreciate the players in that building and everybody around, and really, I always say this, like, man, that's why the opportunity's missed, because this was an opportunity for this place to come to life even tenfold from the last week. It would have just doubled up and kept building and building and building. We'll talk a little Trevor and the press conference when we come back. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee. Courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnicht. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnicht. GMC. We are professional grade.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, Honda has what you need.
The Honda Talon. Ultimate performance meets family-friendly fun. Prices starting at $363 a month. Or the sporty Honda CBR 650 starting at an affordable $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from a full line of Honda products. Only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
There we go, man. Sea of Teal. Hamby, go ahead and collect your bet right now, because there was not 20% of Bills fans in that stadium.
20,000 is what they were saying.
Oh, 20,000. Well,
so that would have
been even more than
like 30%.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not even close.
Go ahead and collect your winnings. I mean, I don't. Have you reached out about that? You gonna collect?
I don't think so.
No, guy ain't gonna pay up.
I doubt it.
Yeah, Yeah, there wasn't that. I mean, yeah, obviously the Bills fans, especially when the game was over, they made themselves known. But I thought it was a lot worse the last time the playoffs were here, and they were a lot crazier too last time. Like
I agree.
I had zero issues, man, with anything. Like they were. Do I dare say they were pretty cool and chill after the game? I don't know. I saw more like just rumblings with Jags fans in Denver after the Denver, win than I did with the Bills fans. Now maybe Bills fans are a little scared, right? It is the grill season after all. They don't know what's going on. Like
right.
Maybe they're a little scared to say anything, but overall, that wasn't an issue at all, man.
Nah, I didn't have any issues with anybody in person. It was just everybody obviously on social is. It just obviously. I mean, when you take an L, you're gonna get. It's not gonna be fun.
Welcome to the internet, Hamby.
But it was more of the superiority complex of, yeah, y'all never even belonged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course we won. Now go back to where you came from. That got me. I was pissed. I was so mad last night.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was upset.
Well, no one looks like, hey, someone's talking crap to you.
Well, it was not about. I mean, that was just the icing on the cake. I mean, the loss is what upset me.
Yeah.
I can't get over. I can't get over the box score, and it keeps getting sent in our chat. It's just like the cropped out version where it just says ETN 10 for 67, 6.7 average. Tootin 4 carries, 51 yards, 12 some average, and just that alone. The fact that they got the ball combined 14 times. And we're going to sit here on this show and praise Coen all offseason. We are. We're going to praise Gladstone all offseason. We're going to praise everybody on the Jags, pretty much, for the next 6 months. But right now, and by the way, all that's deserved. I'm going to do it. But right now, oh my gosh.
But the only counter to that, Austin,
on the ball,
and I get it. But by the way, like the one other thing I said to Hick last night too, it's like ETN did touch the ball 5 times in the reception game too, and he had like another 49 yards,
and
he had a touchdown
carry
too.
in the second half.
I get it, but they came back twice. It's not like they had the ball 3 times in the fourth quarter and didn't score to take the lead.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand this. Believe me. Listen,
I mean, they only had 3
possessions. A lot of the same thing.
They only had 3 possessions in the second half, other than the pick, and they scored on every one of them.
So again, if you say
how mad
that,
can you be?
How can you say that? Like Coen, at the end of the day, did it cost him the game? Like that's the thing. Like if you scored on 3 of your possessions, other than that last one,
right.
Then did it cost you the game? Even though, yeah, you should have, could have, would have, maybe it would have been the better. Listen, I'm asking the same things, but I'm also saying in my mind, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They scored on all 3 possessions.
It's more about the start.
They took the lead twice, right?
It's more about the start. You knew you needed to start a little fast, I thought.
But it's hard to be I get it. So you could have set the tone. I've said it. I mean, go listen to the last segment.
Right.
I'm fighting with myself here. Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting there like, I'm trying to tell Liam this if I'm right across from him, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, but like we took the lead twice in the fourth, and we scored 17 points.
They did their job.
So, what are you pissed about?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but what y'all were saying last segment about the Bills wanting to establish run and shorten the game, or the Jags should have wanted to do that. Well, that's actually what happened to the Jags. I mean, despite the fact that the Bills couldn't run the ball, their first possession coming out of the half is 8 minutes.
Yeah, it was
3 possessions in the second half, and when you're playing or against a player like Josh Allen, and you're down at half, so you already have more to overcome, and they start the half with the ball, you're not winning. You're not winning.
So it's not. I mean, do you look at this as on defense? Because I felt like they needed to score 31 points to win.
Yeah,
30 points. I thought they had to be more north of 27, and it turns out I was kind of right. And so I feel like, in a sense, it's like you didn't score enough, and in the first half is where you probably lost the game. But at the end of the day, the defense, which played so well, only gave up 13 points. Like, I really thought it played so well in a lot of areas. Tight ends, running game, got off the field before the half, only allowed a field goal on the one drive in the third quarter that was long, got off the field after a turnover by Trevor in the first half. Like, these are really good moments for the defense, but kind of almost like Houston came back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this is what happens in close games, and I saw Josh Allen say this yesterday, where when you, I'm saying Josh Hines Allen for the Jaguars, when you lose, everyone's got a reason why you lost.
Yeah.
But when you win, no one says anything, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I get what he's trying to say here.
Yeah.
You can go to all three phases and pick out moments of where they lost the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can sit here and say the Cam Little missed field goal helped them lose the game. The Liam Coen 4th down call helped them lose the game. Walker Little with the false start and then the 10-second runoff to not help Cam Little cost him the game. The Greg Newsome miscommunication towards the end of the game helped them lose the you could probably pick out 4 or 5 instances, and guess what? It's not in just one phase. It's not in just the defense, not in the offense, not in the special teams. It's a collection of all 3 phases. So if you have all 3 phases making mistakes, and you can point here and say, you know what, this helped lose them the game, then I'm not going to put it on one side of the football.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it on one player either.
Yeah. And that's weird because we like to, right? We like to
that's
make
the world that we live in.
Yeah,
but
we like to.
and sometimes you can say, okay, well, the offense lost them the game. Okay, yeah, the defense. Not in this one.
Yeah. I agree with you, I think. That's where it's kind of weird. So it's a weird one in that sense. Let's just stay in and talk a little bit about Trevor then, because it's kind of the same thing. Like, I didn't think Trevor got off to a great start. By the end of the half, it was like 9 for 15 for 88 yards, I think it was. Had the interception. He hasn't made a lot of mistakes. He made a mistake. The defense helped him out, though. Gave up 3 points. Okay, you can live with that. They come back. They take the lead. That was a good drive. So, all good. Like, that's cool. Second half, let's see where he goes. I thought he played better in the second half. The numbers actually were exactly the same, which is weird. It's like 9 of 15. I thought it was a way better second half that he played. And maybe that was just because of the fourth quarter and 2 touchdowns. And you ask your quarterback, no matter how the first 3 quarters go, whether you throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, or if you throw for 100 yards and 2 picks, you ask your franchise quarterback to give you a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I thought he really did. He made some big plays with his legs. He made some big conversions on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2 on the one drive, and then chucked it into Parker Washington. And then they were able to get it to ETN, bounce back. Now we've got a duel. Now we've got Josh Allen against Trevor Lawrence, and this thing's really heating up. This is what the league's all about. Mm-hmm. And then the play over the middle, which to end it, which was a dud of a play and a thud of an ending. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really feel like you leave this game like, damn, Trevor Lawrence. But I also feel like, man, just a little bit more here or there. Yeah. And they end up on the right side of it. Listen, no doubt Josh Allen's a better quarterback in this game, but I think people know that right now anyway. He's a reigning MVP, and he might be the best quarterback in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there is a reason why, and I get it. Everybody was, well, I don't say everybody, but I think a lot of people were afraid to play the Buffalo Bills because of their quarterback, Josh Allen. And is Josh Allen right now the best quarterback in the playoffs? Arguably, yes. But I'm also under the impression of, yeah, he's the best quarterback, but once again, did the Jaguars kind of let him off the hook a little bit? Right? Like, if you would have told me that Keon Coleman would have had a big contribution into winning the football game, Brandon Cooks, who up until 3 or 4 weeks ago I forgot was even in the league, was going to have a big influence on this game, and not necessarily, and Kincaid had the touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he did.
But if you told me like Kincaid and Knox didn't necessarily have their best day, I'd be like, okay, we're all good. Yep, that's going to be a Jags dub, right? No. And once again, yes, Josh Allen made the throws. He stood in the pocket. He played banged up. Dude's a gamer. You can't take that away from him. But how many times did we have to see Keon Cole wide open, Brandon Cooks wide open like that?
Yeah.
That can't happen in the playoffs.
So what about Trevor, though? How do you view?
I mean, it was the Trevor Lawrence experience.
Yeah, a little
bit. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, the slip or whatever it was to get the first down, that wasn't good, right? The interceptions, they weren't good. Then he made some beautiful throws for touchdowns. Like, that's what Trevor Lawrence is.
Well, the one thing about Trevor, which we'll talk more about in the coming days, is that, like, we wondered where, I think you said it multiple times, we're going to find out this year. Like, if you go back to August or whatever else, hey, what Trevor, I don't think there are any questions about that based on the second half of the season. And now we wonder where this can go. The only thing that I get a little bit concerned with here, and a little bit concerned, mildly concerned, is I like when quarterbacks get off to a fast start in the postseason, record-wise and stuff, because then there's just like this built-in narrative and confidence. And if you look at even Josh Allen, right, he was 0-4 on the road until then, no matter who he ran into, 2 of them in the AFC Championship game. He was 7-6 overall. Lamar Jackson, we've painted him as a guy who can't win this time of year, just hasn't been great. So I really think Trevor can be good in these moments. I think he likes these moments. I don't think the moment's too big for him at all. I think you've got to appreciate how he keeps firing back, man. That dude is mentally tough. He throws the pick, he keeps coming. He wants the ball in his hands. I think those are really good things. And I think he's going to win this time of year. But now he's 1-2, unfortunately, in the postseason. Like, I like staying ahead of the sticks even in that from an individual standpoint, because what you don't want is, well, you'd love to get back to the playoffs next year, because then I think it starts to build, kind of like it has for Josh Allen, where it's like the pressure really starts to mount for you to deliver this time of year, where you take like a guy like Jalen Hurts. He's probably the best example. Like, he's been in the playoffs and he wins in the playoffs now until yesterday. But like overall, like that is not going to scar his record, because if you look at his record in the postseason, it's very good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what all that means. If the Jags get back here next year, I'm sure we'll have it's partly because Trevor's playing well and the confidence will be in him to win these kind of games. I just think that pressure will mount, and that's a good pressure around here to have. That means the Jags are in the postseason and perennially good. So we'll see. I don't feel like the Jags lost this game because of Trevor. I don't love the pass over the middle at the end in traffic. I really don't. I think there's got to be something better that gets the drive going. Yeah. I don't know what that is. And you want to get that drive going. If you don't get the first down, it's going to be a tough drive. I'm sorry, if you don't get the first play success on a drive like that, it's going to be tough. And obviously we never even got a drive.
Yeah, I mean, when the smoke settles and it clears, I think a majority of this fan base is going to be really excited for Trevor Lawrence going forward. Right now, obviously, he was a part of the reason why they lost. Right? Now, I'm not going to do a power rankings of, well, they lost more because of this and that. No, but he, obviously he didn't play his best game. Anyone's going to tell you that, whether you're a Trevor truther or not. Like, he didn't play his best game, and that was one of the reasons why the Jaguars didn't win.
2 things I want to ask you about, and somebody just brought it up in the chat. This whole tush-push idea, which it is kind of interesting, and I didn't really know this until yesterday or maybe this morning, that McDermott was opposed to the tush-push.
100%.
And they won this game on the tush-push, essentially.
Literally.
Right? Like 4 of them. I think they were 4 for 4 on them.
We had Nielsen.
It is whatever, right? The last play, this whole carrying of the player thing really got people's attention. It would have been that, and the kick, if it went in, would have been 2 very controversial plays in this game. Because I kind of agree. I'm not sure the Jags should have got a kick. I don't know if they got set in time.
Oh, yeah.
I really think they got a break there. Now, it was a hell of a job to try. And they were definitely offsides. But usually, I don't know if they had the whole second to get set. I think that was very debatable.
I thought the clock would have been at 0.
That would have been a hell of a break.
But once again, you shouldn't have been in that situation because the 10-second runoff, though.
You got to play clean. And so what about the tush-push thing real quick? I mean, this whole carrying the player to the 1-yard line, how do you feel about it?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think football is a very physical sport. And if the roles were reversed and it was the Jaguars doing that, I would have been fist bumping. I would have been giving out suck it signs to Bills fans. I would have been losing my mind, right? Just like they were doing to us when that win in the end zone.
Yeah.
So I'm all for physical plays like that. I've always been in favor of the tush push because I just think it's peak physicality. I just think it's definitely a meathead type of play. But sometimes football takes meatheads to play it. So I'm not. It sucks, obviously, being on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
But it is what
I was really disappointed to see that, guys, that far, because I thought if he just snuck it and got a yard, you have 1st and goal from the 9. And my guess is Josh Allen finds a way to make it happen. But I still have this confidence somewhere that this defense is also going to find a way to make it happen. So I was like, okay, you get 4 downs from the 9, man, to make a play. Now you bring in the referees and everything else because there's all sorts of stuff that can happen. Like, I understand. But man, it was very deflating to see it go all the way down for a touchdown initially and then down to the 1-yard line. By the way,
I thought the opposite. I was rooting for. I was happy. I wanted him to score immediately.
So to get the ball back.
I was kind
of
going that same direction.
And by the way, McDermott, did he misplay it at the end? Should he have taken a knee almost to milk some clock?
Obviously not.
Well, I mean, He gave the
You
Jags a
can't
chance.
guarantee that you score if you take a 1 yard loss.
Well, they
and
had
then
just
it's second
pushed
and
down
2.
9 yards. I think there was a pretty good guarantee.
But I'm also going to be honest, though, too. And once again, he can clip it, I'm sure, and make this his motivation. But, like, I think if you're Eric Armstead and the whistle doesn't blow, you got to keep fighting in that pile. Like, because
he got pushed the whole way.
He pushed and he put his hand up. It's like they're not blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
Like and once again, it was not just him. See, I'm not just trying to single out one player, but it was very evident. I saw Eric Armstead on the film going like this when he's getting pushed back, trying to say, "Hey, blow the whistle,"
which left like a DB back there being blown up to the goal line. I think it was.
And ask Green Bay Packers fans how they feel about Rashawn Gary and the defensive line and company. Like, you got to play towards the whistle because you don't know what's going to happen.
What do you think happened on the bust to
With
Cooks? The one that
is
set
that
up
the Newsome
all this?
one?
Yeah. Newsome, was it Murray or Antonio Johnson out there?
I think that was Murray.
It was
That was
Murray?
the Murray one.
So the view is, listen, Newsome's getting cooked on social media.
On that one, though, I think that was the lack of communication with Murray, not letting him know that he's got his back.
Yeah.
Because his safety's got to help you out there.
Yeah.
It was
totally let him go.
It was Johnson that made the tackle.
It was Johnson that made the tackle. That's why I was concerned.
But didn't he come across or not? Man, I'm thinking of the different, because there's a couple of them that.
Everybody keeps saying it's Murray, but I saw Johnson make the tackle too, so I'm thinking it was. Now, Murray might have cut underneath.
Murray did cut underneath. I'm watching it.
Because there were like 3 guys going to get whoever was in the near the sideline.
Here, let me get
it was like they were all, it's almost like they thought the play was going there.
Well, is this the one where Murray didn't really have necessarily the best eye discipline? Right? Because he thinks it's going short, but it's going deep?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. That's
a little.
You got to have the eye discipline to stay. I mean, you're the safety.
Yeah.
Safety for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't let anybody get behind you. The eyes took him in the front, and
who's been very steady and very good all year. And again, I think these guys have done a nice job in that secondary. They didn't have their best game in some of the big spots, but I also would say, like, it's not like he was throwing 30-yard bombs every time. I mean, these were like, he had to throw everything short. Mm-hmm. There were quick outs, bubble screens, and then he hit 3 chunk plays, right? I think the one to Coleman, this one right here, and the touchdown to Kincaid.
Yeah.
I think that was it from a chunk play standpoint. Now, they had the drop down the middle of the field late in the first half, but, I mean, it's play here, play there, man. And that's the way it goes. Hey, I want to stay on time, so let's do this. When we come back, we'll talk about the press conference. We'll listen to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just couldn't lose in peace. We have to have more drama now after the game?
It's unbelievable.
That's not even football related?
One of my crazy takeaways of this season is how much Liam Coen went viral this year.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I can't wait to hear
And
your
I know
opinions.
he didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
But it's just like this. You talk about entertainment business. I mean, he couldn't have mapped it out this way.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the Liam Coen. I don't know how you measure a guy's fame or like how people know you, but in the last 365 days, is there a chance nobody's jumped like in the world as much as Liam Coen?
Yeah.
Nobody knew him a year ago.
Yeah.
And now it seems like he's in the middle of a viral whatever every month.
Yeah, how was the biggest story? Not even really the game, but it's what happened in a press conference.
This thing blew up. This thing hit the algorithm now. And Schefter didn't help it out.
No, he didn't.
10 million views I saw at last check when he pushed it out.
I can't wait to get Brent's take on this, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this one now. So
sure. Yep.
I'm actually interested in your take because I haven't really seen your. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Duval!
ETN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47. CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
All right, welcome back here. Jags season ends at the hands of the Buffalo Bills, and not just one. The question when you get into this.
We're going home early, huh, Brent?
Yeah, we're going home early. That's one of my favorite parts about all this is like people are like, okay, now what? It's like, now what? I mean, the locker room cleanout's coming up in a couple of minutes. We got a show tonight. We'll have a show on Thursday, it looks like, for Jaguars All Access. And working on Liam Coen being there, by the way, in Jack's Beach at Strings. Nice. Normally that's in Springfield. It's going to be most likely in Jack's Beach. Still waiting on confirmation, but it's trending toward Thursday, which I thought initially was a Wednesday. So just stay tuned on that one, and we'll keep updating you. But we've got you got to put a bow on this stuff. It doesn't stop, and then it rolls right into the offseason. I mean, before you know it, we'll be at the Combine, and then you got free agency and everything else. So, but it does it does feel so different. And I got to be honest with you, I wasn't really ready for it. We had already started really planning a bunch, just like we did last week. I thought we had a really cool week with all the guests and everything else. And we had some guests lined up. And the one thing I really will miss about this part of it is the fact that we don't get the storyline of Liam going back to New England.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a cool storyline. And, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of that in there for me because I know he's from there and I know kind of the roots of that story. And I think it really would have been cool for him.
Yeah.
I think that part would have been pretty neat. So so my other question, I guess, for you is, are you kind of rooting for the Bills? Usually when your team loses somebody, you're like, screw that team.
Yeah.
I get a sense like that. Some of the people I've talked to almost like rooting for the Bills.
I'm rooting for the freaking Steelers.
Well, okay, but that's an empty root.
Texans fans were all over us yesterday. It was really irritating me. So I hope the Steelers beat them tonight by 2 touchdowns, and then just go ahead and run the table.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could care less if the Bills go or not. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Like, the only team I don't need to see is the Texans.
I
Everybody else, more power to you. Wish the best of luck. Hopefully it's entertaining. Don't need to see Houston in it. That's the only team where I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
That's it.
I will feel a lot better if Houston loses tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. Like I don't like Houston. I've said that before. I think they are capable though. I really do. I think this is so wide open.
And I don't think you're wrong.
And there's another one for me, and I don't say this in a mean-spirited way for all of my friends and family and everybody back home who likes the Patriots. And, this is a new rendition. I find myself sometimes wondering, like, do I like Mike Vrabel or do I not like Mike Vrabel, And Vrabel's an interesting cat for me in that experience because I'm not sure if I'm, like, sick of him from the Patriots days when he was a player.
Sure.
And then, obviously, the Tennessee stuff, you're not supposed to like him around here, whatever. It's not that. And I also think he's kind of a cool dude.
Yeah,
like,
I don't mind him, honestly.
I know you like him,
Yeah,
and I do. I think he's a cool dude. I think he's a good coach. And so I'm like, that's kind of cool. But I'm not going to lie to you. I have like this mental gymnastics with Vrabel at part of it. And then the big thing for me with the Patriots, I'm like, you guys don't deserve this crap. Like, you don't deserve another team to go to the freaking AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, people back home, but you just went for 2 decades. You don't deserve another team to go to the Super Bowl and with a second-year quarterback, and this might be another run for, like, decades.
The power of coaching, though, man. Like, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So there's that element to me. Like, you have not suffered enough.
No, for sure. But also, I can't be mad when it's a new coach and a new quarterback. That's like,
I know.
You pick the right buttons. But I will say this about Vrabel watching him last night, and this has kind of been the whole season. It makes me nervous watching him coach. Because when he's on the sideline, it looks like me from the 2010s at the Jack's Beach Bars. Like, why is he always like this? Like he's going to just... Give me a second. I'm just gonna.
He's got a little urban going on.
Oh, just a little
urban.
Right, did you watch the game last night? Like he had the call sheet on the ground and he's hunched over, looking at it, talking to his coordinators while he's hunched over like this.
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
My sciatica is acting up just watching it.
It's funny you said that because my mom called me this morning and she watched the game. She's a big Jags fan now, and. So she usually watches the game on NFL Network where they give updates because you don't see a lot of the games. And so this is how locked in my mom is or understands it all. Like on Saturday, she's like, you ready for the game? Blah, blah. I was like, yeah, you can watch the whole thing. She's like, I'll get my updates on 212, like on DirecTV.
Yeah.
And
I missed 212.
I'm like, Mom, you can watch the game. Like it's the only game on. Just watch it on, back home it's Channel 12, like on CBS. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, it is? That's awesome. And so this morning, she's like, yeah, I watched the whole game. It was great. I'm glad you told me that it was on the Channel 12. She's like, but I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was exhausting. And that gets me to kind of like this next thing. Because in a weird way, it felt like my mom was in the news conference yesterday. And like, I think Mom would have said this to Liam. Because she said it to me over the years so many different times about the Jags. He was so close. Like, it felt like my mom on a Monday morning when it's like, I'm like, oh, here we go. We got to go talk about this for 3 more hours.
Yep.
And she's like comforting me. Like, well, at least it was close. I mean, they were almost there. Like, yeah, people around here don't give a crap about that, right?
yeah. You can't tell them that.
But so here's this. We know this. I don't have to explain the story, right? Are you going to play it?
I can. I have it if you want
Play
to
it,
hear
man. For the people that are behind the rock that maybe didn't see this or that they don't have the internet, but they're watching us somehow. This is the biggest story of yesterday,
maybe of the weekend.
I've seen more pop. I've seen pop culture giant pages retweet this, talk about this. This story has taken a life of its own, and it's not even about the football game.
Free Press News. I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank
you. And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
So there it was. It was 20 seconds. And that set off an incredible frenzy, which started with, I think, Adam Schefter, and maybe it's somebody else, but Schefter tweeted this out, and he kind of phrased it as what a, for lack of a better word, beautiful moment, right, in the postgame.
Yeah.
I don't know what he exactly said.
Basically.
But he said, what a moment, and then other people started jumping in, what a moment, and then you get the media side of things, including Mark Long, who is probably still getting lambasted on social media, but who said, this person should never be allowed in to a news conference. And there's a lot of people in my industry, right, in the media brethren, if you will, that would concur that that's not professional in that setting. That's not what the media is there to do. And so now you've got this, holy cow, back and forth.
The great divide.
Get your Lynn Jones Civil War 2026 t-shirts, everybody. I'll be printing those up next week. We're going to go, let's go ahead and go 1 for 15 or let's go 2 for 20.
It's amazing. The world we live in is amazing. That this is a bigger you said it and you're not wrong. This is a bigger story on a Monday and a Sunday night, at least on my timeline. I don't know if that's just the algorithm, than any of the games that took place. We had Indiana throttle Oregon.
It's Jacksonville.
We had
baby.
Miami
We're back.
beat Ole Miss.
Optics.
We had an unbelievable game in Chicago, an unbelievable game in Carolina, an unbelievable game in Jacksonville. The Patriots won last night. The Eagles, the Super Bowl champs, are out. Lynn Jones from the Jacksonville Free Press, here's your moment because you're bigger than them all.
Yeah.
And you've created what I think is a fascinating conversation.
Oh, here we go. She's going to be reading out the picks of the draft. I can already see that. Jaguars. Oh, you guys think it's funny?
No, you're right.
You guys mean to tell me
right.
she's not going to be announcing the picks at the draft?
She will be.
Are you kidding me?
She will be. And listen, that was the other thing that was interesting to me. We were doing some work last night, so I didn't see it all unfold. But I was like, wow, the Jags are going to get Twitter cloud on this one, too.
Yeah. Oh, Jags posted it right away, Brent.
They put it out right away.
Jags posted it right away.
Where you don't know if the organization's kind of
oh, I'm
almost
sorry.
siding with the media side.
Oh,
of
I'm
things,
sorry.
Right?
Did James Gladstone not sit there day one and say it's sports entertainment?
That's true. And boy, do we have the entertainment.
This is gonna be my part, but because this is your arena. This is your jurisdiction, Brent Martineau.
Yeah, you know me. I'm not.
So let's get your. I mean, I know, but it's Civil War. Let's pick a side.
Yeah,
Come on.
The side I pick is pretty easy for me because I thought about it a little bit last night. We were talking about it. If I'm in full going through this in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get what I'm probably like, what is that? My first reaction is like, what are we doing here? No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what was that? Who is that? Who asked the question? What are we doing? Like all this stuff. That was my natural instinct to do this. Then I'm starting to see it go where I'm like, well, who gives a damn? This is fun. Everybody's talking about it. It's a fun moment. It's 20 seconds, whatever. And then I actually this morning it hit me a little bit like this. It's like I would be very hypocritical. I think. I don't really I don't really step back and view how I cover the Jags very often. But I think I'd be pretty hypocritical if I came in here and stood on the journalist hill. I think we have changed so much. Even in if you follow all my tweets in a game, I can't say I tweet from an only journalistic perspective, right? I'm tweeting 1 to tell folks about the game because there are some people that aren't watching the game. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, hey, I appreciate you tweeting because I'm at work or whatever else, and that's how I follow along. But I don't think a journalist would normally be like, hey, it'd be a good time for a turnover here for the Jags. Right? Like, I think I'd be real hypocritical if I sit here and say, like, I'm the stand-on-the-hill journalist. But I also will say this, I respect people who are. I think we need people who are. I think people, it's a changing industry. We have to acknowledge that. Pat McAfee would not have flown 10 years ago. Pat McAfee is the biggest thing going right now, right? I shouldn't say 10 years ago, but probably more like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe in a lot of the journalistic stuff. Well, I believe in it in our industry. I try to protect our industry in sports and TV, which has been a dying thing at times, at least to TV consultants and everything else.
And you've always tried to pay it forward, too. I want to make sure that we say that about you.
Well,
you do. No, I mean, for real. I think that means a lot.
So all those things, like, I think are really big factors here. I think, and if you really want to know my true emotion of it, I was quite frankly pissed off that nobody followed up with more of the run question yesterday to Liam Coen in the press conference.
Yeah.
Because that was, to me, a story. He dismissed it right away, and nobody followed up with it. Mm-hmm. I was more pissed about that than this in the moment. And you know what? If there's one big thing about what happens with the media, and this is why you try not to – I learned this a long time ago, I think, where I'm not trying to justify my perspective on what we do too much to people that are consuming what we do. Because I really think people that are consuming what we do don't really give a damn about all the, hey, this is journalistic, hey, this is, they want the information. And they don't care how it comes. They want to hear what they want to hear sometimes. They even can blame us sometimes. Yeah. But they don't look at it in that lens. And that's a big population that's not looking at it at the lens. So we're on a small hill is my point. Like, if you really want to go all journalistic on it and say the roots of journalism and all this, which is a fair part of the argument if you really believe in it, it's a small hill because nobody gives a damn about that. Look how we have changed in our media. Look how we have changed in the consumption of stuff. And again, I mean, Pat McAfee, those same people would not agree with what Pat McAfee does on a daily basis in a lot of respects. And he is the king of it right now. You have to acknowledge that works.
And Pat McAfee's been very vocal about the reaction that Lynn Jones has gotten.
Has he? Well, and I bet he is. Like, so I just think we have to notice that the goalpost moves, but we can still try to protect the roots of it as much as possible. But you ain't winning this battle.
No,
like,
you're not.
Like, you're not winning. Like, they don't care. Like, that's a battle to have internally. That's probably where Mark made a mistake. If Mark wanted to say anything about this, then you go to the Jags and you say it and you complain and whatever else. But you're not going to get.
Talk about the same Jags who reposted that?
Yeah. Interestingly enough.
Cool.
You're not going to get a lot of love from everybody else. And I'm not sure Mark's not looking for love. I'm just saying, I'm not surprised by the reaction to the population in this. So, and it's okay. Like, I'm here for the entertainment as well. And I've moved that goalpost. I'm not sure I would have been 15 years ago. Listen, there's if you really want a conversation with me about what goes on day in, day out on TV, you saw it the other day. I'm like, I don't understand why we're interviewing coaches and quarterbacks right after a game, and then 3 minutes later we're doing it again on the stage. Like, I'll say that stuff all the time. That stuff bothers me. Some of those kind of things in our media that we do bothers me. Like, I've been living this business for a long time, but it doesn't mean that you care about it. Like, I know that.
Yeah.
So, hey, good for her at the end of the day. Good for you if you enjoyed it. But I also will say this, if you had a problem with it because you're a journalist, like, I get where that's coming from. I really do. I just don't think you're going to win it vocally.
Yeah. By the way, Lynn Jones for the first Duval next year, please, for the first home game. Oh, let's make that happen as well. And then make sure you tell him that, hey, you're doing good, sweetie. That's what I need from Lynn Jones. No. Hamby, well, you want to tell your thing quick because you taught Hamby knew her before any of us did.
Oh, by the way, Hamby had a moment yesterday that bothered me in the press box.
Okay,
so I'm just going to.
Was he cheering?
First touchdown,
Hamby.
It was inaudible. Honestly, okay, I'm going to wear it.
This guy,
I could. It was
he wearing the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 crest?
He actually, I don't know what he was wearing. He might have had a Jags thing on.
Georgia shirt or something, probably. Okay, sorry, please continue.
He actually might have had a Jags thing. So Hamby went and helped me in the morning do live shots, which was very nice of him, by the way. And so I forget sometimes that guys haven't been up. Like Hamby hasn't been up in the press box.
No, man.
Like he hasn't done. Like
it's time to shine.
You just kind of assume everybody's been up there a lot. And everything
free
else.
ice cream, free food. Let's go.
No ice cream for me.
The Jags scored a touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. And this dude, we're sitting close because we got a lot of people in the press box.
Yeah, hey, it's the playoffs.
And I got Hickey to my right, and I got Hamby to my left. And that touchdown goes in, and Hamby goes like this. And I'm like, Hamby. I snap. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I literally said that.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't say it like in a funny way. I was like,
oh, no, man.
I was like, I couldn't believe I just saw that.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we doing? Now, he didn't vocally do it to his credit.
Yeah.
But I was like, did I just see that?
Oh, dude, don't mess, because I used to be in that press box, and I'm here, because you know why? I'm professional. But I've seen Brent a couple times, like because you're always around. Like, you're out sometimes. I've seen you a couple times, and I can name any names, but like somebody might say something, and I see Brent just kind of go,
scowl.
I'm like, dude's never not smiled or been nice. And all of a sudden I see him, the press box is Brent Martineau's domain. And you don't mess up that domain, Hamby, and that is on you.
You were lucky Gene Fournette didn't see that.
Oh, he would have had you bounced out.
He would have had you bounced out. But anyway, that was the moment, so go ahead. Now you're Lynn Jones moment.
Okay, so that
was pretty impressive. I think I just bleeped myself in real time.
You did.
You were right on the cusp. That was good stuff.
You did. Yeah, that was impressive.
That's really impressive. All right, Hamby. Yeah, so Lynn?
So, yeah, before the game, I was getting the pregame spread. And for lunch yesterday, they had – what did they have?
Brisket.
They had
chicken?
brisket. Yeah, brisket. So I'm walking up and I grab a plate.
That's a playoff game. Let's go.
This woman is right ahead of me, and she's explaining to one of the workers how much she enjoys brisket. Well, brisket's also one of my favorite foods. So for the next maybe 5 to 6 minutes, me and this woman, we didn't introduce, never seen her before. She had never seen me. We're going back and forth about our favorite brisket, what we would pair it with. We're making an imaginary meal together.
Like her even better, Brent.
It was one of the best encounters I've had in a while.
Yeah.
Like, she felt like my family.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Cool.
Still, and even at the end, like it was one of those that it ended, and then it kept going, and then it kept going, and I didn't want to leave. Anyway, never at any point did I introduce, or she never, and then yesterday during the post-game show, because we're playing it live, I hear this woman's voice, and I'm like, well, that's the lady I talked to about the brisket for 5 minutes earlier today. Like, that was she was amazing.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, wait a minute. This is a post-game press conference. What is happening? But I was like, well, I mean, I wish I could, call her on the phone right now because, truthfully, I'm in shambles over this loss.
I could have used her yesterday.
So I could have used it. So, how mad can I be? I can't be mad. I wanted to talk to her. If I would have had her phone number, I would have given her a call last night just for emotional support.
I could have used her, man.
I'll give you my mom's number.
I sat 20 minutes after the game got out, just pout because the lines weren't moving.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Ronan, let's just sit here and just take it all in quick. I'm just watching the Bills fans in the corner with their because there's nowhere to go.
Nah,
I'm not gonna sit in line and be like, hey, we love the show, Austin. I don't want to have that conversation right now. So just sat there, man. So yeah, I definitely could have used her. Listen, because I've been on both sides. I'm a fan. I think I have a pretty good finger on the pulse, even though I don't interact a lot on social media. But also, I get the whole journalistic integrity of it. At the end of the day, and this is why I don't go on social media a lot, and I've said this many times on the show, and I'll say it again. I think the problem with social media, there's many things wrong with it. There's many great things about it. But one of the biggest issues is that there's the overflated sense of purpose. And when you talk about what went down yesterday with Lynn, it was a moment, okay? And it was a moment that we haven't really heard, we haven't really seen, and that's why it's taken off. it could have just been a 15 to 20 second cool moment, and it could have been left at that. But then it turned into the side that covers the team, media members all around the world kind of rallying together and saying that was wrong. She shouldn't have did that. How does she have a credential? Blah, 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 blah. And once again, I said James Gladstone said this in the first press conference. It's a sports entertainment business. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that you cover, that I cover, that everyone covers in that room, shared it themselves. You didn't have to say anything about it. And it probably wouldn't have went away. And me, Hamby, Brent, we all get this. Like, we cater to a fan base, right? Like, they help pay the bills, right? Brent, more than you anybody. Like, they help pay your bills.
Absolutely.
Because you need viewership, you need people interacting, you need people tuning into your shows. That's how you get paid, right? So you have to have, and this is why. And once again, this isn't trying to trumpet and parade Brent Martineau around because we all know this already. But like, you do a great job of being a professional, but also understanding what the fan base truly is, right? Because you're also one of the people. And I think where it gets mixed up sometimes is, yeah, you cover the Jaguars, but do you understand who's reading your content? Do you understand who's watching your content? And yesterday you saw, and once again, I'm not speaking for every single Jaguars fan on Jags Twitter, but I think they all came to rally around Lynn.
Yeah.
Right? That's the people speaking for themselves. That's the fan base speaking for themselves. So if you're a member of the media and you see this, let it be a wake-up call then. Where why go against the people that are paying your bills? Why go against the people that are reading your content? Because you did nothing but piss them off.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. It's really, there's so many layers to this, guys. Like, deep down, again, I'll be on the honest side of it. I have no problem with the comments. I was waiting for the question.
Yeah.
There's never a question. Would have been nice. And I think it would have appeased everybody then. Not that she was in the business of appeasing people. Like, that's fine, too. I kind of respect that maybe more than anything else. She didn't give a damn what you think, probably.
That is
like, what
she's just like, screw it.
Yeah, which is
cool. What I want to say.
Which, again, listen, there are plenty of things I do that I guarantee you some of the guys that are down there from a journalistic standpoint roll their eyes at. Totally get it. And I understand that. And I actually look at that as a checks and balance thing for me. Like, okay, well, what are this saying, that saying?
Yeah.
I find it I don't know if this is the way to even phrase, like, what if somebody else did ask or did say that? What if Mark said it? What would people have said? I don't know. What if, like, Mia had said it? What if so-and-so? I don't know. Did it have to come from this context because we really don't know Lynn Jones asking questions to Coach every week?
It is different if that person is down there every week putting in the time.
Well, not even putting in the time. It's just that that's not their normal MO.
Well, that's not their
correct. So this kind of came out of left field anyway, in that sense.
Yeah.
And by the way, I will tell you, there are some folks down there that ask questions on Sundays that aren't there all the time. Like, that's not abnormal. Sunday's game day, and you get more people credentialed, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. Like, I genuinely would be interested to see how this would have been perceived if somebody, which, again, if you want to say is more journalistic or like on a day-to-day basis, would have kind of put it in that context of something like that. I don't know. Would they have been lambasted? Would they have been celebrated? Would it have been controversial?
Listen,
I have no idea.
If it was you that would have said it, you probably would have been lambasted.
Probably, right?
Because, once again, Jaguars fans are upset that, the team lost and in the fashion that they lost. But that's what made it so great, was that was a fresh voice that maybe we didn't hear before. We didn't know the story, and it came across as a great moment. If it would have been Mark Long, Mia, Brent Martineau, anybody else, John Shipley, it wouldn't have been that great of a moment. What made it a great moment, because it was a voice that we never really heard before.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you're right on that.
And that's what it was. And that's all it had to be. But then it turned into someone going, okay, well, this person's like trying to steal my spot now, right? They're in a spot that they don't belong, and all this stuff. And maybe that's true. Maybe she shouldn't have been there and said what she said, but it happened. And it's okay that it happened, because it was a great moment. It's great content. We're talking about it. I think if anybody had any inkling of getting any viewership, they would talk about it as well, and let it be that.
Chat wants to know, what if it was Pete Prisco?
I mean,
it doesn't. I think Austin's right. It doesn't work as well.
If it would have been Pete, then like go and check below because hell might have frozen over. and then what's good? I'm not trying to plug my own stuff, but I can't because. I'm going to see Pete today.
Yeah.
And
he's a writer at heart. Listen, writers are different in many respects than TV people, and they hold the standard. They differently. They do. And I really have a lot of respect for that. I genuinely do. Mm-hmm. But they're also usually the last ones to move the goalpost. And come. They really are. Which, again, there's respect for that sometimes. And things change. So I think it's a fascinating one, man. If you teach a class, this one's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's 20 seconds. Most people are looking at it in a very positive way. Yeah. I really don't think it should be a dividing thing. And I know it's going to be because that's the world we live in, but I think it's better just because there's a lot of different tentacles to it, which I think are fascinating because I like our industry. Yeah. But a lot of people don't care about those tentacles because they don't give a damn about our industry. And I totally get it.
Yeah. But then once again, like any industry, it's always changing.
It always changes. And this one's changing. You got to get out of here.
Yeah, man. I got to get out of here. But real quick, too, like to me, man, this is almost like, to me, to try to relate to it even more, it's like the Jake Paul effect. You know, it's like
that bothers you a lot, right?
The Jake Paul thing bothers me because you came out of nowhere, you didn't earn your stripes, and you have a lot of money, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want. And like I think you've kind of made a name for yourself. But at the end of the day, just because Jake Paul's fighting, doing his thing, it shouldn't affect me as a fighter, right? Like I don't have to watch it. I don't have to agree with it, but I'm also not going online all the time saying, "Well, Jake Paul's ruining the sport," all this stuff. Because guess what? We can both coexist. Yeah. It's going to be okay. Jake Paul can have his, 15 minutes or whatever it is and try to give me my 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're all good. We can live together. We can coexist together. Now it's not like a hippie.
And
awesome.
And now I get out of here, but I'll just say I don't want you to be misconstrued in your comments because I will say this. Lynn Jones has earned the opportunity. She's been doing this for a long time for the Jacksonville Free Press, too. So, like,
she didn't win a contest to get the credential.
She didn't. And you know what? By the way, don't we, like, if she did, so what? Even if she had done that, like we like that at Media Day at the Super Bowl, where the kid's asking a question or something.
We do.
Like maybe it's just so different that it was like, what was that? It definitely was jarring. Like there's no doubt.
Of course.
It definitely was jarring.
But that's what made it so great.
But it also made it really kind of cool. And I like the fact that we get to talk about all the different angles. So good for her.
Somebody give me your number so we can go to Bono's and get some brisket.
Let's go, Hamby.
Let's do it. I'll have a sit-down interview with her.
Well, I think she has really increased the popularity in a good way for her. So, and then the Jacksonville Free Press. So enjoy the moment. That part is cool. We got Jags Report live tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30 from String Sports Brewery. And we're lining up another one in Jax Beach at 7 o'clock on Thursday. It looks with Liam Coen, so put that on your radar. Looks like it's going to be at 7 o'clock on Thursday with the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll be right back. May even have more on this. We'll get some of the chat. We didn't get to the chat. I wanted to see what the chat was saying about this comment in particular because I'd like to get their thoughts. We'll be right back.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with the inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat.
eating.
See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $100 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location, right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man.
It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at jacksonvilleicemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Parker Washington, man, pretty cool comment that he had appreciation for the fans. And, you know, again, I just said earlier, like, I can't be hypocritical. Like, sometimes I don't feel like I don't know if it's like true journal, I don't like by the book journalism, like what people would say. And I think in this part is where I probably feel like I've changed a lot. And that's what like a guy like in the Parker Washington story. I think from an any one point of view, you can be like, damn man, that's a cool story. Look at him emerge, all that stuff, blah blah blah. But it's like when you're covering the Jags, you see these guys grow up. You know, like that's the difference for me. Like when I covered Patriots in New England, it wasn't like that. It's everybody, huge media, all this stuff. We covered the Giants for a while when I was up in Albany, and like Jacksonville's different in the sense that Like you literally, in the way we get to cover them. I mean, from being on the team plane to being like in hotels, and there's not even a ton of interaction there. I'm just saying there's an occasional interaction or going to a draft. Like I say this all the time about Josh Hines-Allen. I was at the draft with him holding little Wesley in his hands when in Nashville, and he's a young man and he's got a young family. And look what he is now. Like, to me, that's really kind of cool to watch these guys grow up. And I think that's because I'm older now. So there's something to that. And so when I see that post from Parker Washington, and I see, like, this Jags team that's, I think, just a very likable football team. It's a very likable team. And it's like, man, that's where that sucks that it's over in that sense, in so many respects. You just respect – I really have a ton of respect for these guys that continue to keep growing, and they don't go away because things didn't go right in the early going or whatever else. From Devin Lloyd to Parker Washington to Travis Etienne to you name it. And I just got a lot of respect for that. And these guys are cool, man. I mean, we've gotten to know Parker pretty well now this year because he's been the center of attention. And what he's been able to deliver. What a freaking season for Parker Washington. And happy for him. He like lives life with a smile, and you see that smile. And I think he's so good for this organization. And I wonder where he's going. Like, I wonder where this career is going. Because in the last month of the year, he was the guy. Trevor was their best player.
No, there's no doubt.
But he was the guy.
Yeah, he was the number one receiver.
And it's part of this football team in a way. It's like, okay, Parker was the guy for the last month. Prior to that, the 3 weeks earlier or the month earlier, it was really Jacoby Myers. Coming into the year, it was Brian Thomas Jr. Wait, the Jags only lost 2 games this year with Brenton Strange playing. Wait, he's been the guy. Travis Etienne was probably the overall guy from front to back. Trevor's been the guy. LaQuinn Allen's been the guy. Bashal Tutin's shown some moments. I don't know if he's ever been the guy, but, like, that's fun. And Parker, to me, is really in that. And what's really kind of neat is, and we saw this on Jags Report Live when he came out to the show a couple weeks ago, and I think you see this when he goes down with an injury and then came back in, I think, against the Titans. And I think you see, like, we saw this pregame yesterday where the fans were like, my point here is the fans love Parker Washington.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is a rise with Parker Washington. If you had asked how many Parker Washington jerseys are out there in September or October, and now I would bet for Christmas people are asking for Parker Washington jerseys. And if you got a birthday coming up, you might be asking for a Parker Washington jersey. That's how big it is. And now they're asking to write him a check. So, I mean, what a cool story. Like, and I thought he did a nice job of putting it out there. I mean, it's interesting to see the players' reactions, and I respect them all. I love Josh Hines-Allen, as I just kind of mentioned. I always say when I talk about Josh Hines-Allen, I'm very biased. I don't mind admitting my bias there on occasion. But he came from his Twitter post was a little different. It was more like,
there's always a reason when you lose, but never when you win. Break that down or something like that.
Yeah, but it was more like, I know you're going to hate on us for losing, but this was a hell of a ride. I thought his postgame was pretty good where he just was.
It was.
He right off the start. Now, he never answered the question that I thought was a decent question, but he did say, like, man, I got to talk about this team. I mean, what a jerk. This is going to be a building block. Like, we are going to win a Super Bowl. He believes that, and I think he kind of set the tone as a leader in that. Like, okay, the expectations now raised, and we're okay with that. Now they're going to have to deliver. But, yeah, I thought his tone was interesting and a little bit different. I think he's going to carry that chip, and whatever chip works. I mean, that's how these guys are really good players. So, and I thought Josh was pretty good yesterday. I don't know if people are – I know the pass rush in general wasn't enough for some, but I also didn't think Josh Allen just sat there and had all the time in the world. I didn't feel that. Maybe there was more examples of that.
The ball was out soon, but Brent, I mean, and this is one of many different reasons. It really was about not getting off the field on third down at times.
Yeah, but in third downs that were 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5.
I get it. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, they had a bunch of missed opportunities and they just got stonewalled and didn't get any pressure whatsoever. I'm saying you did at times, though, you were I think fans were begging for a sack. And I know Josh had one.
Yeah, in a big moment.
But I mean, it was a combination of you getting the ball out fast. I mean, the quick outs to that one to Gabe Davis comes to mind when it's 3rd and 5 and it's on Newsome. And just like, I'm not really sure what anybody can do. I mean, the ball is literally out when he catches it, and it's not bad coverage. And it's it's just enough to get a squeak. It's a squeaker. It's just enough to get a first down. So like, I don't know what anybody's supposed to do, but you did notice. Oh man, if we could have just had one,
Yeah, but Ripley says they have controlled passing game that's time oriented, hard to get to him. I agree with that, and that's where I think we don't like to do this. But sometimes you have to admit the other guy's great and going to get his. He got them into the situations where I think the Jags were doing a hell of a job. They stopped the run, they take that away from him. They stopped the tight ends in the middle of the field, they take that away from him. That's where he wanted to go a couple of times, and when they did get off the field, it was because he was throwing over the middle and they couldn't complete it.
Right.
So he was taking that away, which is normally there. So as a defense, like you're taking two things away that are there normally and where they want to go. Those are wins. So now what you're forcing him to do is beat you on a 5-yard out route and make the right call or get that bubble screen blocked.
Yeah.
And why we don't want to do this, but sometimes you got to tip their cap. Like you force them into make those kind of plays.
They made them.
And they made those kind of plays enough to move the chains. And that's the arm that's getting it into the right call, that's making a play. And the Jags did that on a lot of occasions too. And Buffalo did. Like, it's just going to happen with good football teams. And maybe that's because Jones and Newsome, to Ripley's point, didn't play as well. Maybe they should have played stickier coverage. Maybe they could have done some better things. Maybe people could have got off blocks a little bit better on the bubble screen game with Shakir. But, like, I think what I saw offensively from the Buffalo Bills yesterday, overall until the busted play, I would have gladly taken it. 20 points in the game for the Buffalo Bills until 4 minutes to go on the clock. Sign me up, man. I got no problem with what the defense did yesterday until they gave up the big play.
Yeah.
Like, the plays are going to get made. Like, this isn't Houston's defense or even Denver's defense. We knew that coming in. They are going to make plays. And I don't care if they have nobody in the passing game. That dude's going to make plays.
Ripley.
So, to me, it comes down to one play. Like, Hick kept asking me, has the play been made? Has the play that's going to change the game been made? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't really feel like it. And usually, the Jags who won 13 games come up with a play, even on defense, that's really a game changer. They didn't. Instead, the play on the bust was the opposite.
Right.
That was the play in the game. Bigger than the QB sneak and even the Trevor picks. The play in the game was that, because if they don't make that, I think it goes to a 3rd and 10 or something like that, maybe. I think. I'd have to go back and check. And maybe they make more plays after that. Who knows? But I think you're really setting them up now to go have to drive down the field, and you're feeling good and everything else.
Yeah, that was on 1st and 10.
Oh, it was a first down play?
Yep.
Okay, so
right
who knows?
before
Maybe
the 2-minute warning.
And that was right before the 2-minute warning. So, and they're back at what yard line?
They were at the
41?
That was at their 43.
43. So they're at the 43. They need a touchdown. So they got to go 57 yards in 2 minutes. They got plenty of time because timeouts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it just changes the feel when you go hit a 37-yard play.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. Like, I can't sit here and tell you that I think the Jags – no, I can tell you. I think if they don't make that play, I think the Jags win the game on defense.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that.
I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do. And I might be wrong. I'm just saying I think – now, by the way, they might have picked that ball off if they play it right. They might have picked it off. They might have just dialed up the right play with Lloyd. Blitzed them, got them, threw it up for grabs, pick it off.
It was a floater.
So they might have won the game if they had the right communication on that play. They missed. They whiffed.
Yeah, I want to go back to the conversation that we had Thursday of last week. Is what it was. Who's bigger if they miss this game? And it was Cole Van Lannon or Jerry and Jones, or that was on Wednesday because Jerry and
we thought it was the ankle,
gimpy,
not sick.
coming off the last game, and it turns out he was just sick, and he still missed practice, which maybe that played a difference in a role, and maybe it didn't. But I remember I said I think Jerry and Jones, not because I agreed with you, Jerry and it would be the bigger deal because you're already down Jordan Lewis, and I think we're underselling that because we played Phillip Rivers without Jordan Lewis. and we still gave up 20 points or something like that. And then we finished the year with the Titans, and that's the Titans. But we hadn't faced a passing offense like this recently without Jordan Lewis. And, look at the box score. Khalil Shakir killed the Jags. And then that one play to Brandon Cooks. And you also had the one bust to Keon Coleman. He had one catch for 36 yards. And that was a miscommunication. And that was Jarian. And I haven't seen the play back, so I don't know if Jarian is the one who did right and the other player did wrong. Buster Brown, I believe it was, 30 on the right sideline, the near sideline, especially the Keon Coleman one. But I just know there were miscommunications, and Jordan Lewis was the captain of that secondary along with Eric Murray. All these guys are young.
Yeah.
They're young.
And it played so well.
And Jordan and Lewis, they did. They played unbelievable. They played way above all of our expectations. Jarian Jones did. Buster Brown did. Even guys like Braswell. Yeah. They all did. Every one of them deserves a ton of credit. But yesterday, there was miscommunications, especially to Cooks and Coleman, and then Shakir killed us on third down. And I just can't. I just really want to know what that would look like if Jordan Lewis is fully healthy on the field. Like I would, if you were to go back yesterday, because I think people are blaming, the secondary for the bus. Mm-hmm. They're blaming the kicker, unfortunately.
Are people really hard on Cam Little right now?
Well, because I think so. Just because, hey, that's a big 3 points. There's a lot of other plays, but so they're blaming that, but they're also blaming Walker Little. Right?
Yeah, Walker Little. To me, the Walker Little is the bigger one.
And I'm saying no. Yeah. I'm saying Walker Little was not the biggest. I'm saying Cole Van Lannon was not as big of a deal being out as Jordan Lewis was. Yeah. Jordan Lewis being out killed the Jags yesterday.
Well, what's interesting there is you say that. I'm fascinated by it, really. And health is a big part of this. You got to get lucky. The Bills were playing with their own health problems.
Yeah, they were.
But my curiosity is, you say Jordan Lewis, I see him in the nickel spot. I know Jarian didn't have his best game, but at the same time, the play that we're talking about was not a Jarian play. It was more Newsome Murray.
Right.
So that means Jordan Lewis wouldn't have been involved in that play. So what were they really missing Lewis? When it mattered the most, in that play, if we think that's the game-changing play.
Right, but Shakir, how many catches did he have? What did he go, 12 for 100 or something like that?
He did. They were all behind the line of scrimmage, though. Most of them were behind the line of scrimmage. He did a really nice
12
job.
12 for 82.
He had 12 catches?
12.
Did he really have that many?
Yes. That's what
I would like to know. I don't know the breakdown, but I really felt like he had half of those had to come on the bubble screens. Don't you feel like they did?
Well, a couple, yes, but a couple of them came over the middle for 3rd and 8 conversions.
Now, here's the other thing. Jordan Lewis might be able to stop some of those.
That's what I'm saying.
Bubble screens, even the bubble screens part.
And we've seen him blow those up all year long. All year long, we've seen him blow up runs to the outside and bubble screens.
So, what's the chat think right now? Did the Jags? This is a good question. Did the Jags miss Jordan Lewis or Cole Van Lannon more? And you think it's Jordan Lewis?
I think it's Jordan Lewis. Yes. I would have loved to have Cole Van Lannon out there, and I feel like he was close to going because, we saw him out there, giving his best effort. He was out there 3+ hours before kickoff. I thought, it didn't look great, but it showed you that he was at least actually a game-time decision.
Yeah.
I think I like this comment right here. Either one, we win. You could pick. I think it's Lewis was bigger, but if Walker Little's in there at right, because we haven't really even got to the offensive. Every single freaking one of them, other than Hainsey, missed a couple plays.
Yeah.
Anton went out, hobbled. Makari, he was banged up coming in, and he went out for a couple plays. Ezra Cleveland went out for a couple plays, and Walker Little's playing left tackle for the first time in how long? So, to me, I'm going to cut the guy a little slack. We gave the guy praise because he hopped in at right guard when he hadn't played there in ages, and he at least competed. Well, now he's back at left tackle. I know he was signed there, but how many games has he played there, at least recently?
Yeah, I think, but like 10-second runoff, there's some things. I think most of the chat is, and I think I agree with you, by the way. I think Jordan Lewis, I think his toughness, I think his veteran experience, I think
he was the
that's
captain.
What you need here, too, in these kind of moments. And I have a lot of faith in Jarian Jones. I'm telling you, I think it took a little something out of Jarian Jones this week. He was very sick. This wasn't like, hey, I got a cold. This was, you could tell even on Friday. I think we did an interview with him on Friday. I didn't do it, but I saw the video, and I'm like, man, I know what feeling like crap looks like from allergies to other things. And you can kind of like look at somebody and like, I ain't over it yet.
Yeah.
Jarian Jones wasn't over it, and he missed some practice time. I think that's here nor there, maybe. But my guess is he didn't feel like in his normal routine and as good as he normally does. And so I would say, he probably would say he didn't play his best game. And Jordan Lewis, I think, might have made a big difference there. But Jarian Jones helped them out a lot over the stretch, and they had so many players help them out that you have confidence that those guys were going to play well. And I still look at this whole thing and say, okay, maybe they gave up the 12 catches and whatever, but they really gave up like 3 big plays on defense in the passing game. And that was it.
They're all kind of inexcusable. Like, at this point in the playoffs.
Yeah, you just can't. No, my point is you can't do that and win. Like, you can't. If you give up one, maybe if it's not at the, like, depending on what time of the game it is. But if they don't have these 3 busts of plays that it looked like, then they probably win the football game. But to many people's, hey, maybe that kick is 5 yards closer because Little doesn't jump off sides. Maybe if Walker Little could hold the block a little, like another second, the end of the game is to Parker Washington and maybe a touchdown. So there's ways to look at it. The Jags, did they get bit by some of their depth? Maybe, but that can't be too much of an excuse against Buffalo, who was more beat up than you, essentially. I was trying to think back on this game. Did we miss something? Or did everything we think just didn't bubble enough? Which I'm leaning toward that. I don't think we missed anything. I think, Liam Coen could have probably done a couple of different things in the run game. I think they got out-chessed in the first half. I think defensively, the defense, to me, again, played overall pretty good. If you tell me with 4 minutes to go in the game, they had held Buffalo to 20 points. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
They didn't play good enough on the last drive. I get it. But overall, we didn't miss anything there. And quite frankly, I thought, I gave you the stat, in 13 in postseason games, Josh Allen had scored 24 or more in 10 of them. You needed to get north of 27 points. Like, if I was breaking this game down for Liam Coen on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and what we had to do offensively, you had to get to 30 or you were unlikely to win the game. It turns out they could have got to 27 to force overtime. Like, that was right on the money.
Yeah.
And that wasn't me being some genius, by the way. That was in front of you if you look at what Buffalo had done over the years in the postseason.
Right.
And by the way, this was the 4th leading scoring offense in the league, even though everybody just keeps crapping on their offensive skill players. Like, it was still 4th in the league in points scored. So they know how to get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we missed that. I think we wondered about special teams, the kick return game. Thought the Jags did an excellent job, including forcing a turnover. I think both punters had like a missed punt or two, but that wasn't a factor. The punt return game wasn't a factor. At the end of the day, we thought every time Prater went out there that he was going to miss, and he didn't.
Yeah, that was
We
huge.
thought when Cam Little went out there, he was going to make, and he missed one. And, I mean, I'm not putting it on Cam Little. He's been unbelievable. And it was 54 yards. But at the end of the day, they at least neutralized special teams because of the fumble, and they actually won it because the Jags didn't cash it in.
Right.
And again, that goes back. That's not just a Cam missing. That's a feel the moment Liam. If you get 3 points there, we're maybe in overtime.
Right.
So this is what I love about this football game, is because we can sit here now for the next 6 months and do all this. You can tell me it was this guy's fault, and I'll tell you, yeah, but. I'll tell you it was this fault, and you say, yeah, but. Like, we're all going to pick something different. And that's cool. That's the way it goes.
I would love to know.
But that means it's a good game, is my point.
Well, absolutely.
That means it's just an NFL game that this stuff happens. If Buffalo had lost, they were going to go pick apart 5 things that they didn't do well.
Sure.
Including stop the run.
Right. Brent, I would love to know what teams in the last 10 years, what their playoff record is when you miss a field goal of any kind.
That's fascinating.
It just feels like when you miss a field goal, it's probably going to come back and beat you.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good call. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And maybe you're right. I just think we've got to be a little careful here to just assume 54-yarders are going in every time in January, too, on a windy, cool day. Like, now McManus obviously cost them the game in Green Bay, to the chat's point. Like, you can't miss extra point and 43-yard field goals. 43-yard field goals you got to make.
Yeah.
54-yarders, I don't know if those are, like, got to make. I mean, it would be nice to make. Or maybe it's more just now you got to kick, because that would be the fascinating. Now, if somebody really wants to deep dive into this, how many field goals get missed? Does that cost you? Or is it how many field goals you pass up and that costs you?
Yeah.
Like, that might be the bigger story that we're all kind of on right now, since nobody seems to want to kick it. Let's talk about those other games when we come back, actually, and more on the Jaguars in this football game and where they go a little bit. We're going to do this a lot, I think, right, now that we can talk about the offseason. But a little bit of, like, how much do you really believe this is the start of something in Jacksonville? Like, how much of this foundation is really here? Because I'll be honest, I have doubts because I haven't seen it. I don't know what that looks like. I'm a positive guy. I'll be glad to feel good about where this thing is going. But I also know around the corner in door number 2 is something that you don't usually expect in the NFL to happen. And that's why teams like the Detroit Lions, who overall have been unbelievable, have missed 3 out of the last 5 years going to the playoffs. Like, you have to remind yourself of that. How good has Detroit been?
You got to take advantage.
How good have they been? And they've missed the playoffs 3 out of 5 years? I'm pretty sure I have that right.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would think that based on the narrative around what they do and how they've been. So getting there is so freaking hard. Can the Jags do it again, or are we going to have a little bit of a pullback? I can guarantee you this. They don't win 13 games next year. Like, I will take that now. But that doesn't mean they're not a good team, win the division, go to the playoffs, everything else. At the end of the day, you look up these numbers, and I know Hamby keeps saying he's looked at them and looked at them and looked at them. It really comes down to the 2-1 turnovers. If it's even, the Jags might win. That's it. Simple as that.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel
right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Sandalwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
What is that? What are we doing? What's happening? What's going on here? What is this? Why are we even watching NFL playoffs? Your team isn't even playing. Me. How about all the? I mean, the games were amazing this weekend as we welcome you back to the Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. The NFL just can't miss. It's just crazy. I wonder when you look at the pantheon of products over the course of time. I mean, name your biggest ones from Apple to Google to Coca-Cola to, I don't know, pick your favorite one. Like they've missed, right? Like there's bumps in the road? Maybe not. Like is Apple on just like a always like this or Google always like this? We get dips. Maybe we don't with those. It doesn't feel like they've had a lot of misses. I'm sure Coca-Cola has them, like their Pepsi Wars and other stuff. The NFL, and I've been saying this for like a decade, so that's why I always bring it up. But the NFL, it's just, it's untouchable, and I don't know if it's even had dips in the hard times, from the national anthem to COVID to whatever else.
I mean, it feels like that was a little bit of a dip.
It might have been a dip. But I don't know, man. Like, people thought it was a dip. People thought, and again, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I got to go back and look at the numbers. It just feels like it's such an untouchable machine in so many ways. But that might have been the one. That might have been the one. I mean, you go all the way back, by the way, to the strike years and stuff like that. That certainly has been. But I guess like this century, maybe that was the one. But in many respects, like you say it's a dip, but it's bringing a lot of eyeballs to it because it's a controversial topic. So I don't know if that's a true dip, when you're just bringing more people into the fold in essence. But anyway, like that's here nor there. It doesn't really matter. It's just I can't believe the product that continues to get played out. And this weekend, it was just unbelievable. I mean, those football games were really good. Carolina wasn't supposed to have a chance. They did. Heck, you could have said they should have won. How stunning would that have been? The Rams were on the ropes. And then for Chicago to do what they did with 25 points in the fourth quarter is unbelievable. And I know they've been doing it, but with Ben Johnson, like kamikaze in that thing, the way he did.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing you got to be a little careful with the Ben Johnson front, and I guess I should say, hey, why not get into our public services recycled headlines of the day, recyclingsimplified.com, and it was a hell of a weekend in the NFL, even though it doesn't feel that good here in Jacksonville with the Jags losing 27-24. I didn't get a chance to watch much of the 49ers-Eagles game. It didn't seem like it was a super entertaining game, but it was close, and obviously you get an upset. So the road team wins, and then the Chargers and Patriots game was kind of a dud. I did see some of that, and it just wasn't that entertaining. But the first three of the weekend were amazing. Even the first four, I think you could argue. And then three of the four road teams winning, which have a 33% of chance of winning on the road in the postseason since they've gone to this format. So it's not common. And then the comeback by Chicago was amazing. And the meltdown by Green Bay, just as amazing. Hamby said this to me yesterday at like 7 a.m. He said, I hope the Jaguars, I'd feel better if the Jags are down by a touchdown at halftime than if they're up by 17. He genuinely said that. I was like, you're out of your mind. I get what you're saying, but you're out of your mind. And in a way, you got your wish. They were down by 3, so even better.
I was pumped.
But you wouldn't have liked if they scored the touchdown, went up 14-3, and then maybe had like a 17-3.
I would have been bleeping myself, my pants, because those leads don't seem to hold. Not when Josh Allen's on the other side, and especially after watching what the Packers just did. No thanks. Yeah. I could take an L like we had yesterday. You're in the game the whole way. Probably should have won it. But if you're up 21-3 at half, or 24-7.
I do think it's really hard. To Green Bay's defense, I don't know if I should defend them. I'm not sure that's the right way to do it, but I think it's hard to play with a lead. You don't want to risk stuff, and in doing so, you play conservative, and if you make a mistake or if you miss an op, you get what you get potentially. And it turns out, for whatever reason, all these games hit a different level in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, man.
The first three, I don't know why 13-10, and then all of a sudden everybody starts scoring. The urgency. Maybe you throw caution to the wind. I think that's a little bit of the NFL playoffs. You don't want to risk too much early on, and then you're like, well, crap, we got to go get it. And then when you go get it, you start seeing this.
Weirdly enough, in 3 of the 4 games that I've watched, I didn't watch much of the Chargers-Patriots, but in the 3 of the other 4, the team, including the Jags, has been on the doorstep as the third quarter expired. So it kind of has that feel.
Yeah.
The Jags were.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, they were right there.
Yep.
They scored on the first play after. So, and that happened with the Packers and Bills. The Bears scored immediately, second play in the fourth quarter. And I think it happened in the second, what was the, Panthers Rams game as well.
Yeah, I don't think you're comfortable. Everybody would take being up 21-6. But I don't feel like it's a super comfortable deal because, like you're saying, it happened at the end of the third quarter. They end up going in. Now it's, 21-13. I don't know if that's is that the way it worked out? Or did they end up kicking field goal or something?
Who?
Chicago. I think they ended up kicking a field goal. But you can't score, and now you only need 2 scores in the fourth quarter. It just feels like it's such a bigger lead than it really is. And it's almost like the NBA. It's become the NBA a little bit. Where the NBA, if you're up by 12, that's not a comfortable lead. In college basketball, if you're up by 12, it's usually pretty comfortable. In the NBA, it's you might as well be up 3. It disappears in like 90 seconds. And the NFL is starting to feel that way to me. I don't think it's a comfortable place. I think the Jags found this out against Denver. That was an uncomfortable fourth quarter because they're rolling, and then you've got to you want to use clock. You're starting to play against two things: the team and the clock.
Yep.
And I think when you bring that into the equation, I think that's trickier. I thought that was one of the hardest quarters Coen had to coach his entire season. The fourth quarter against Denver, up by 17 at the time. And people are like, Brent, what are you out of your mind? Like, why is that hard to coach? I think it's really hard to coach because you know that there are 3 possessions still to go, and you couldn't run the football.
That'd be a good thing to ask him in the offseason.
You couldn't run the football in that game. Remember? They weren't running it.
Yeah, they weren't.
So it's not like if it was different if you were up. See, this is where I differ with you. If you were up by 10 or 13 against Buffalo, now you just hand it off every down. And you're leaning on them because you could. I mean, it looked like you were going to be able to.
Right.
So, yeah, just fantastic theater. If you're not a fan with a team in the hunt, just fantastic theater. So, and will we get it tonight? I mean, I think we will. I think people think Houston's going to win. I think they're probably going to win. And I think Pittsburgh's going to probably come into play. If you watch Carolina and how they even stayed in that game, I don't know how you can't feel like Pittsburgh has a chance to win this game tonight. Sure they do.
Of course.
I don't think they will. Do you think they will? I know you're hoping, but do you think they will?
No.
Yeah. Get the heart and head out of this one.
I know.
Yeah, I really think Houston's pretty damn good. But wouldn't it be pretty wild to see that they come in on a 9-game win streak, the Jags on an 8-game win streak, and they both lose? And there was this stat, and I didn't really want to bring this up last week, but we had like an NFL research stat that the last 13 teams to come in to the postseason on an 8-game win streak, I think, didn't even make the Super Bowl. The last team to actually win the Super Bowl and come in on an 8+ game win streak was the Patriots in 2003.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I think it was the Patriots.
I wouldn't have thought that at all.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, right?
That's
it's hard
the biggest
to maintain that.
Yeah, and that's why I think the biggest part of this feeling like a missed opportunity is because you felt like the hottest team. Like there's nobody in the NFL other than the Texans, and what Jags fan is going to say that the Texans are hotter? Everybody thought that the Jags were the hottest, and that's what it feels like it takes in the playoffs is you just got to get hot. Well, the Jags were hot.
They were hot.
And the fact that the flame gets put out, well, it seemed like in one play, literally on that pick, because up until that point, everything was still right there in front of you. That's, I think, the most brutal part where, again, going to praise everybody all off season. 13 wins, unbelievable. It was an awesome season. But I still think I'm not there yet. It's still disappointing. Yeah, and I can't move on to next year and guarantee 12 wins or whatever. I can't do it because it's all about getting hot in this league, as it is in pretty much every professional sport, I feel like. And you got to take advantage when you are. I mean, what happens next year if you squeak in as a division winner?
Might be better.
When it might be. Who knows? Of course, who knows? But it seems like this might have been the best shot you had.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I just tweeted this out. I thought the Jags were legitimately like a top 4 team. They had beaten Denver, so to me, it's like, okay, I'll take that. I think if they had played Houston, I didn't love the matchup, but I think they're better than them all around as a football team. I thought they were better all around than the Bills. They lost. But I liked, above all, you guys know I've been saying this for weeks, I like the New England matchup. Like, bring on New England is fine with me.
Yeah.
Like, and I might be wrong on New England. I might not be giving them enough love. And I think they're good. But I also think they're a little bit like what I saw a little yesterday. They can get clunky, and I'm not afraid of them. So, but I'm not telling you they're the best team in the AFC. I just thought maybe New England is better. But other than New England, the Jags are right there. So I got them top 2 there, and I do think Seattle, and pick your favorite team. Maybe it's the Rams, maybe it's the Eagles, whatever. Pick your favorite team in the NFC. I would probably say the Rams. So I think Seattle, the Rams, and maybe New England and the Jags, to me, were in my top 4 going into this postseason. Was I a little delusional about that? Were the Jags really not as good? Was it more like, hey, they had beaten up Titans twice and the Jets, and yeah, sure, the Denver win was unbelievable, but let's not go crazy here. They're not amongst the elite in the NFL. And some of this thinking, of course, is relative to the field. The field was as even as we think we've seen in a long time going into the postseason. Picking the envelope game and who could go in, I think there could be a lot of winners to the Super Bowl. Do I think Chicago going into the weekend had a chance to go to the Super Bowl? I do. Did I think Green Bay? I did. Now, I know they weren't playing very well, so I wasn't taking the chances. The only team I believe that didn't really have a chance, like at all, was Carolina, and they put on a hell of a show on Saturday.
They did, which is why people should probably bet Steelers tonight.
So, yeah, I don't think I was getting caught up in it with the Jags, but I'm trying to check myself.
Right.
Were we all getting caught up in it maybe too much? But I really don't think so. And that kind of flips around to a quick thought or two, because we're going to do this a lot this week and for months. Where do they go? What's next? Do you really feel like this is now going to sustain? And it might not be 13 wins, but it might be 10 or 11. It might be AFC South. When the Jags won in 22, they had arrived a bit early, and I think we said that in real time. I think one of the detriments of that season is that it might have been better in the grand scheme of things to miss the playoffs by a game, but have the momentum of the end of that year. Kind of like Detroit did, I think, the year prior, where you just got squeezed out of the playoffs, but you went on a nice run. Mm-hmm. Then the next year is the year to make the playoffs, which is what Detroit did. And then the next year is where you go become a Super Bowl contender, which is what Detroit did. Now Detroit, is wherever. But the bottom line is that's how they gradually did that thing, whether it was year after year or 3 out of 4 years, whatever it was. And so is that a better way to go? Or is taking this leap from nothing to something set you up for expectations that really aren't attainable? And I do think that's a real conversation. And are we going to learn from it? In 2017, the Jaguars did something that was historical in terms of turnovers and points scored off turnovers. And obviously they had the number one rushing offense. Was that sustainable? Well, the turnovers weren't sustainable. We kind of knew it. We just didn't want to say it out loud. But they weren't going to have the year defensively that they had in 2017, again in 2018. Was Blake Bortles going to emerge? That's what really the hope was. Had he found something against Pittsburgh in the playoff game, but even in December in those 3 weeks where he played some of the best quarterback in the National Football League, and you're like, oh, okay, we're on to something here. Well, was that fool's gold? Yeah, it all turned out to be fool's gold on top of injuries that derailed them in 2018. In 2022, the magic carpet ride that I just referenced got you in the postseason. The magic carpet ride continued almost Chicago-esque, where they come back and win the game over the Chargers. And now that sets you up to believe, well, you have arrived. You are a really good football team. And, well, now you can handle it and sustain it.
Arrived too early.
They did for a while until they ran into the toughest part of their schedule on top of getting injuries. They had a first-place schedule, and they had to go for 4 straight weeks. Monday nighter against the Bengals, and I know they didn't have Burrow and stuff, but then I think it was the Ravens. It was Tampa who got hot. It was 4 straight weeks of, okay, this is like playoff football teams, and you got to win, and you're in the middle of it, and you're getting all the attention too. Now you're the team. They were a number 1 seed for a minute on that Monday night in December. Mm-hmm. So they weren't ready to handle it. They also got banged up, and they just couldn't navigate it. They weren't there. They had arrived too early to figure that part out, and then it crashed down and never got back. So now we ask again this year. The Jags did something nobody thought they'd do, and to me, that's the scary part. They went from 4 wins to 13. They were not supposed to win 13 games. Have they set themselves up for a setback? Because, folks, they're not winning 13 games next year. I'm not signing up for it. They're not winning 13. They're going to have a first-place schedule. The eyes are going to be on them. They're not going to be able to play up small market team and everything to the degree that they played it up. And they're not going to probably have the connectivity of this group because it's going to be a different feel and a different group. That doesn't mean they can't win, get in, and then be in a better spot to maybe make a run in the postseason.
Absolutely.
But I'm just telling you, I don't believe they're going to win 13 games next year, and all of a sudden, hey, get used to that every single year.
Right.
What they've got to do, in my opinion, is get back to the postseason some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And what they've also got to do is now win a game in the postseason. See, to me, it's like the rest. Of course, it matters, but it doesn't really matter. Like next year, there's only one success: getting in and at least winning a game. And maybe it's two. But that's the success of next year, and we know it here. And this year just ended 24 hours ago.
Right.
So that's what we all sit and wonder, and we're going to sit and wait. And there's a lot that goes into that. Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, does he continue this ascension? Liam Coen, how does he play it with eyes on them and being a bit of a target? James Gladstone, who does he go get in free agency to make the puzzle pieces fit so wonderfully like he did this year? Where do they get better? Whether it's another tight end to go along with Brenton Strange or another running back if they don't keep ETN. Where does he go on those decisions? Devin Lloyd, do they let him walk? Do they beef up the linebacker spot? Do they finally get a 3 technique? Like, there are pathways to this being really, really good. Like, really good. I'll give you the simple pathway to being really good for years to come. You figure out the Travis Hunter piece. But if you, let's just say you put him at corner for the most part, and you find a 3 technique, they were interested in Quinnen Williams. If they find a stud, whether it's in the draft or free agency or however they want to do it, at that 3 tech spot, if you just put, and they'll figure out the linebacker in some way, shape, or form, but if you just figure out 3 technique and you add a shutdown corner in Travis Hunter, who you think he is, how much better are the Jags defensively? Well, that's their 2 weaknesses. And they're also getting Ransaw and other guys that we'll be able to see, and they got another draft class to add to, all those things. But if you just add those 2 pieces to go along with whatever you got, because Devon Hamilton was excellent. Josh Hines-Allen, good. Trayvon Walker, we think he's good. Other young players like Jarian Jones, Jordan Lewis under contract, Murray under contract, all this stuff. I mean, those 2 pieces alone, and 3 techniques, the harder one, you already got Travis Hunter.
Right.
Well, you're really, and Campanile, I think now stays, by the way, too.
Yeah.
So now you got 2 years of this. Really good. Offensively, just continue this play of Trevor Lawrence, year 2 of the system. Maybe it takes off a little, but it doesn't even have to take off. It just has to play like this. And then, I don't know what happens in the passing game. I think it's figuring out Brian Thomas Jr. Like I don't even know if the Jags need a draft of players.
Right. Well,
they need to figure out their own stuff.
Well, I mean,
a Brian Thomas Jr.
Brent, before we get there, I think, look, I'm totally with you that they're not going to win 13 games. But the only counter argument to that is, well, they didn't figure out what the heck they wanted to do on offense till halfway through the season. And yes, other defenses are going to be able to study Cohen's offense a lot more. So is there a little regression there potentially? But I think the fact that they now know exactly what they want to do on offense and that he and Trevor are on the same page and it's clicking and Jacoby Myers and all that stuff, and that's where they're starting from. That's their starting line next year. So whereas you lost a couple of games, you know, in the middle part of the season, Seahawks, Rams, notably, Bengals. Well, you had no idea what offensively they were running the football, but they couldn't throw it for anything. It was clunky.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if that's where their starting line is, and Trevor takes, one more step, if Trevor takes one more step next year, he's like firmly in the MVP race. So, and then you add Travis Hunter back. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, well, you're playing a first place schedule, but we don't believe that the Jags will be we don't see them often as a first place type team in our minds, whether they are or not. But if we're looking at their first place schedule saying, well, the Jags are our first, they got to come play the Jags.
Yeah.
I think it changes the way that we look at it.
That's fair.
So, 100% agree. In the NFL, again, why I'm so disappointed, why I think everybody should be, you won 13 games, man. Like, you got to take advantage. You might have been a top 5. You might have been one of the best teams in the NFL. And who knows what happens next year? Who know? Hey, Trevor Lawrence, he was fully healthy all year long. Well, statistically, most quarterbacks don't play 34 straight games.
Yeah.
Okay, so who knows?
And he actually overall was pretty healthy. Like, he wasn't banged up.
He wasn't even really that banged up.
He took some licks now, but he wasn't banged up playing.
But, so statistically, who
now,
knows?
some quarterbacks go 10 years playing like that, too.
Well, it seemed like Phillip Rivers did, yeah.
Yeah, Brady did.
Well, yeah. But you know what
yeah, I mean,
who
you
knows?
Can't have it. But he might have went through his tough stretch in the previous 2 years.
The Jags had one season-ending injury to a really big impact player, and that was Travis Hunter.
That is true. They got fortunate. Yeah.
They were banged up all year long, but it was, Brenton Strange was on the IR for 4 weeks, and who knows?
Let me ask you, if the Jags rolled this team back, and I know they're not going to, okay, but if they just rolled this team out next year again, wouldn't you feel pretty good?
I'd be very confident.
Yeah.
I'd be very confident.
Again, add Travis Hunter to the mix. He's on the roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get healthy to start the year. I would say you'd feel pretty good. Well, the reality is they're going to add a lot more than that. They're going to take away some, but they're going to add more than that.
It's probably going to be a decent, even more turnover than we even expect just 24 hours removed from this game.
Yeah, yeah. I said this I remember saying this in 23, going into 23. We're going to keep that up there for a second. But in 23, I think I said the Jags could be better in 23 and not go as far. Because 22 was such a crazy magic carpet ride.
100%.
And even almost beating the Chiefs. It's hard to win a playoff game, as we found out here yesterday, right, in Jacksonville. And I knew they were going to have that schedule that was tricky with the first place. Now, I did think they would be a playoff team. I just said, I think you could be a better team and almost did not feel as well because you go from last place schedule to first place schedule. That was my 22 to 23 thought. I feel like this team, the difference here is the floor is so here. And they feel like they're such a physical football team now and the expectation. And then you add in Trevor where he is at his career, where I think he's found something for a second time that probably will stick a little bit more. And just the whole nature of the makeup of the team. I do feel like they're actually going to be better next year, front to back. But I still don't think they're going to win 13 games. That's the crazy part of the NFL.
Yeah.
That is the crazy part of the NFL. It's just wild.
Depending on the schedule and, how it works out, streaks-wise.
Yeah. And,
it kind of played out the right way at the end of the season where, once you got hot, other than the Broncos.
Well, the reason why, there's two things. One thing that really happened to this football team to pave the way for what happened late is they did not play unbelievable football in the first 5 games, but they went 4-1. Their offense wasn't playing great football.
Right.
But they went 4-1.
Sure.
I'll give you one thing that I don't want to sleep on this. It's kind of rolling around in my head. They only had 2 penalties yesterday, right? For 10 yards? I think it was. I think this is where the growth is that nobody's going to talk about. But remember the first half of the year, man, they were just beating themselves up. They could not line up. This team got way more disciplined. They're going to be one of the worst penalized teams in the league, but most of that came on the chunk of the first 10 games. They really settled that thing down. And to play in this atmosphere, that's not why they lost the game. That's why they lost games earlier on in the year because of some of that.
Yeah.
That's not it. So I really like that they found that. And there's one other element here. I saw this tweet recently where the Rams, and again, this is where all this comes from. So if they can follow in the footsteps of the Rams to some degree, the Rams if you take this season, last season, keep going all the way back to 2019 or 2020, they're the least penalized team in the National Football League. So if Coen can kind of figure that out, which it looks like he did a bit, then I feel better about that part too. So that's a hidden thing where the Jags are going to be better next year on the penalty front. So we'll see. There are really 3 guys. I'm sorry. I think I left this out yesterday when I was talking about this. But 3 guys, Lloyd, Etienne, and Buster Brown. Right? I don't know how people feel about Gardick. Listen, I feel a certain way about Dewey. I don't know how they feel about it. I don't know what's going to play out. It might be in his best interest from a dollar standpoint to go check out the market. It might not be. I don't know. I would be surprised to see Smoot back. Newsome, I think, is gone. Tim Patrick, I would say, is gone. De'Ami Brown's definitely gone. Dennis Gardeck felt like a one-year guy to me, but maybe you bring him back. He was good.
Yeah.
So, but I think the headlines here are Devin Lloyd, ETN, and Buster Brown. I mean, it's simple as that. Buster Brown, to me, I think they like him. And you liked him last week. You didn't like him as much this week. Not you, Hamby. I'm saying everybody.
Right.
Right? I think they loved Buster Brown the last couple of weeks, which means you look at the big picture, Buster Brown, I think, is going to get a deal here, and I don't think it's going to cost you a gazillion dollars. I think it'll be a reasonable deal, and you can bring him back, and you like piecing that secondary together with a lot of young players. I think Lloyd's going to be gone. I think Lloyd is the guy that's going to get a bunch of dollars because of the splash plays. Now, I thought he played well yesterday, too. I thought he was all over the place. I just don't think the business side of things makes sense for Lloyd. And I still feel a little bit that same way with ETN, although I scratch my head. I'm like, how? Did you catch his soundbite, by the way? I asked him about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't have that soundbite, do we?
I can get it.
Let's play it on the other side of a break. I wanted to get everybody's interpretation of the ETN soundbite. And I'll tell you where I'm coming from on it. But ETN's fascinating to me. I think you can franchise him. Would they do that to a running back? You could franchise Lloyd, see it again. Will they utilize that on one of those two players? I think possibly. I think it makes some sense. I don't think long-term deals for either guy.
Right.
I don't see it. Mostly because of the market on Lloyd and also the nature of the position for ETN. But I could be surprised. We'll see. I see the guy getting a deal out of this, like a 3-year and more deal, is Monteric Brown on this list. That's what I would say. All right, let's take a break. Stay on time here. Actually, we're way over time, so let's put a bow on the show and we come back. But I want you to hear, if you guys didn't hear the ETN soundbite, and when I asked him about did he just play his last game in a Jags uniform, he said something at the end of it, and I thought it was up for interpretation. And like Hick and I interpreted it 2 different ways, so I want to see what you guys think about it when we come back.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
A meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052.
It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville, off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location, right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I forgot to share with you. We maybe we'll show it tomorrow, but we got to see Jim Nantz in the booth. Got Noah up there yesterday, so that was cool of Jim Nantz to do that, and that was a fun exchange. That was a fun week we had, from Mitch Morse to Nantz to Teasy to you name it. It was really a fun playoff week. We had so much more planned this week. I had some stuff lined up. We'll have to put it on the back burner for now. And there is Nantz and Tony Romo. They're very nice. They had a young man with Dreams Come True that was there as well, Micah, and he was so fired up for that game. Probably so disappointed, actually, at the result. But he was so fired up to be at the game, and Nantz was great with him. And then I got a chance to say hello with Noah as well, and so it was nice of them to do. They're busy at that time, too, getting ready for a game. But all the nice things people say about Jim Nantz, and I kept hearing more and more of that. I also did say, Hamby, I thought this was cool. I said, hey, thanks for the time, and we got a lot of compliments, and a lot of people saw that interview. And he's like, oh, yeah, a lot of people have been telling me about that interview. He's like, and it's not just like fans. Wow. It's like, I've been in the Jags building the last couple of days, and they were talking about the interview. Baselli and others and stuff. So I was like, that's kind of cool that everybody saw it. And we had a good time with him, and hopefully they did a great job on the game. I haven't heard the game back yet, but I know my mom said they called the Jags Super Bowl contenders multiple times, and that stuck out to her.
Well, Romo, look, I already watched the game back this morning.
Oh, Romo got some criticism in this game, right?
And last night, yeah, it wasn't great.
So in what respect? Because I didn't know where that was coming from. Was he errant with his facts, or was he just not interested in the game? Like, what was where's this coming from?
Yeah. So normally the book on Romo and all these guys is because they get too much favoritism for Mahomes, Allen, all those guys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There was some of that. This was different, and I can confirm. I mean, he was starting sentences, and you had no idea where it was going. Like it was literally like it wasn't making sense. So I mean, I have a list of tweets. It's like of people quoting him, and here's one. I mean, whoever wins this game has a real shot to make the Super Bowl. That's how important this game is. And he just kept saying that and saying that.
So he said that a lot.
It's like in the playoffs.
That was like his clutch. Yeah.
But it was like, how much credit?
I get the nature of that, though. A lot of people said that this week.
Well, I mean, okay, let me give you another one. Okay, yeah, so this guy was like, Tony Romo is so bad now, he just says nonsense like he's making real points. Josh Allen did the most basic pre-snap read that any quarterback should be doing, and he says that it's his playoff experience showing up. Please get him out of the booth. There was times, Brent, that it was literally like he was starting on one way, and he would cut himself off to talk about something else, and it was like, where did he go? How did he get there? Multiple times.
Yeah,
it was a little strange.
That's interesting. Yeah, so I haven't seen it. I'll have to go back and see. I don't watch Romo and listen to Romo. I don't watch these guys because we're usually working on Sundays, so I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, I know enough about him, but I don't watch front to back. And a lot of people, he's been under criticism for years now. That's just not as good as it used to be.
And people say Brady's gotten a lot better.
I think Brady, again, I know Brady got some criticism early on. I think he's doing a great job. He did the whole wind thing. Did you see that?
I did see.
And it was not like that's good. Like that's where you're learning stuff.
Right.
Like I want, if I'm a viewer, I want to learn stuff from the guy that's great at it. That was excellent and easy. It's hard to show and tell in a booth, right? But that was a pretty easy one and very relevant. They go right to the flags. That's the way to tell the story because I just jumped in that game right at that time. Like put it on here. And I mean, obviously the wind's blowing like crazy, right? So yeah, I thought Brady was really good in that moment. And that's not easy to do all the time in layman's term, that stuff. I thought he was very good, and that was a good illustration. He even did a good job of turning to the camera the right way.
Yeah, he did.
Showing the U and the C and all that stuff. So, and I know people really like Olsen. Olsen's good. Burkhardt, somebody mentioned, very good.
Yeah, I like him.
So,
but the one of the ones that stuck out was on Josh Allen's first rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Romo was like talking because he was like, the ref came in and said something really fast, so it might not be a touchdown, and nobody knew what he was talking about because we didn't hear the ref mic. And how that would be a touchdown or not a touchdown when it's not the referee's call to make. It's obviously the guys on the sideline.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like it literally just didn't make any sense to anybody.
That's wild. All right. I had mentioned Noah. He actually asked a question. He said, listen to the show and said, do you think they cut Foye to free up money for Lloyd? And I haven't checked this in a while, so let me just double check. I should have done this. But I feel like Foye, and I don't think it's a popular thing to say. I don't want to paint it like this is what they should do. But I feel like Foye could have played his last game in Jacksonville. But I don't know if it makes sense money-wise. Let me just double-check. 2026, he's a $9 million base salary. He's a $16 million cap hit. He's $14 million in dead money.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot. Now, this team swallowed a lot of dead money this past season.
That's a lot.
And that's when you're still revamping. And listen, I think they love Foye. I'm just talking about he's now 30. He's going to be 31.
Yeah.
Like this is not a knock on it. He had an unbelievable season again. So maybe it makes sense. But they restructured a couple of times. It's now pushed money down the road where now you get into like a 31-year window. I think Foye was really good this year. I think he's a big part of this. But I don't know what that looks like on tape. I don't know how his body feels. I don't know if he feels like he's lost a step. I don't know. I've heard from some people they feel like he's lost. Some people have felt like he lost a step. But is that doesn't mean he's bad, So I wonder where that goes. But to answer Noah's question, I don't think they cut Foye for the money of Lloyd. I don't think that's what they do. I think they're either going to sign Lloyd or they're not, and I don't really think they're going to. That's my guess. I'm just giving you my hunch. But I don't think it has to do anything with like Foye moving on or not. And by the way, you guys are bringing up some why he dead money for a really good player. Yes, a good player. The question is, so is ETN. You have to ask, are these good business moves, decisions? They figured out that Tyson Campbell wasn't good enough for the money. So they moved on from him. And you have to ask that every year. What he did this year doesn't necessarily mean how he projects to be next year. So but I do think some folks are bringing up, it's debatable what they have to replace. From Ventrell Miller to Kaiser, like that doesn't seem like it's showing up roses.
No.
So what do you have? I think we've said this for a couple of years. I think they drafted a Ventrell Miller or some other players like a Lloyd through the years because they thought, okay, we're going to have Foye around for a couple of few seasons, and then here's the replacement in the big picture. You can't replace Foye. Which, hat tip to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I feel good about anybody replacing him next year, even if he's lost a step.
Yeah.
Like, he was 143 tackles. So these are some of the decisions, though, that are hard to make. Foye, Lloyd, ETN, I think those are really difficult decisions. Do they end up putting a Brian Thomas Jr. on the block? Would you entertain that? How do they feel about that? A lot of stuff to dissect. Back to ETN, because ETN to me, if hopefully you watched our postgame show and some of last night, I thought ETN was really good on the mic after the game, because I think you talk about talking to fans, and I know Lynn Jones might have talked to some fans, but I think ETN really talked to fans because he said, listen, he said he was in shock that they lost. I think many of you are. He said, this is only about winning the Super Bowl. I think that's what you want to hear. That's what you believe. Around Jacksonville, we're content with a little success. Let's be honest. He's not. I think if you go back and listen to ETN and then you match what he did in that game with what he did all season, I think it's really hard to not envision him part of this. I think this organization has learned so much about ETN in 2025 that they didn't know. From Baselli to Gladstone to Coen and others.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the best of their graces, or not that he had done anything wrong, but
yeah, it wasn't
when
in
they
the bad
first got
graces,
here.
Right?
They drafted 2 running backs, so that tells you that he was in a fight for his job, and he outperformed what they at least thought when they at the draft, because I'm sure they drafted Tootin with the envisioning that he would be a bigger part of the backfield the entire season.
No doubt. I've said it a million times. The evidence was there that they didn't fully believe in ETN, in the system or whatever it was, because they almost drafted Genty if they stuck at 5. They almost drafted R.J. Harvey if he was still there. They ended up drafting Tootin. Like, they were finding a running back. Was that to complement ETN? Well, not if it was Genty or even Harvey, right? So, that's okay. Like, that's fine. Hats off to ETN, man. He's earned it. And he's earned it to the point where you want him back. And I wonder if they are like, we got to have him back. And what does that look like contractually and everything else? So great job by him. I think he was awesome this year. And I thought he was awesome in the postgame. But he even said this and had to ask the question because he might have played his last game in a Jags uniform.
Surprised you didn't play a little better considering you guys had been rolling so well.
It's a playoff atmosphere, man. It sucks, yeah, because, man, we lost. Like I said, man, if you asked me coming this morning if we were going to lose, there was no doubt in my mind we was coming out here with the W. So I'm still in shock, honestly, that the game went that way. But at the end of the day, man, I went out there. I just try to leave everything on the field. And I got to live with the results, man. I just got to just focus on getting better. How can I be better for my teammates in those situations and just keep pushing.
Do you think you played your last game as a Jags player?
I really not even focused on that right now. Honestly, not even focused on that. Really just got to just try to soak this one in, man. Not even focused on that right now. It'd be crazy if I did, though.
Going into that last drive, you had to let them score to get the ball back. What were you thinking heading into that last final drive?
So it would be crazy if I did, though. And so what we weren't sure about that. I just want to see how it hits people's ears. There's 2 ways to hit the people's ears. It'd be crazy if I did, though, was I didn't know if he was referencing, why would I be thinking about that? It's a playoff game. So it'd be crazy if I had even thought about that, right? Or it would be crazy if I just played my last game.
That's the way I see it.
Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, because there was a pause there, and it wasn't necessarily continue with the other. I think that's exactly what he was saying. It would be nuts if that was my last game.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, that's an interesting way to think about it. I mean, because, well, to me, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like you normally get all that from ETN a lot of the time. And I think that was, I mean, brutally honest, where he's like, yeah, because he's so selfless. And I'm not saying that's selfish, but he's been so selfless all year, always talks about Tootin, always talks about LaQuinn Allen, always just wants to win, all that stuff. But to me, that was like, bro, I've earned that. I've earned a new deal, and it needs to be here because I've put in the work here, and I've succeeded.
Two ways to interpret it, right? Like, yeah, I mean, they'd be crazy to not bring me back, but also, like, I really want to be here.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't even thought about moving on. Like, I want to be a part of this. I'll tell you what, again, he proved to me, and I think he proved to a lot of people, how valuable he is to this franchise and this offense. And I think the maturity of him and kind of the win-at-all-costs attitude of him, maybe that's, who knows, maybe that's like more of a front than anything else, and that's what we just see and know. But, I mean, I think he's been pretty consistent with that. And you start to compile what he's done as a player with the yards in 3 out of 4 seasons, pretty good. And they became a touchdown machine this year.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if I asked Liam Coen, I haven't asked him this, give me a player that has impressed you the most this year based on, like, thoughts of what you had.
ETN is the number one.
I feel like ETN would be that guy. Now, Devin Lloyd could be that guy or whatever else. But ETN, I feel like, is that guy. Because
Jerry may be up there.
I think he's earned so much equity now with this organization, with this offense. Fits in the offense well, what he was able to do. And good leader in the room. I think these guys are coming along. Listen, if it's ETN, Tootin, LaQuinn Allen again, I think everybody's pretty happy with that.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. I don't know, though. That's a tough position in the business front. Good organizations will let linebackers and running backs walk, even when they're pretty good. Good organizations do that. The Patriots, the Ravens, like, they've done that. Not everybody does it. But they don't just hand them a bunch of money at those positions because they think they can go find other players for less expense at those positions. Ironically, those are the two biggest decisions the Jags have to make. We're about to see James Gladstone's view on that, his theory on that. And maybe I got to dig into the Rams in recent memory on that a little bit more too. But it'll be a fun one to watch. And ETN's comments, I thought, were pretty interesting there. The Jags cleaned out the lockers today, so we were down there, and we have more reaction. We'll have more of it coming tomorrow and through the night tonight. We have Jags Report live tonight. Hopefully you come join us, talk about this season. 7 o'clock on Fox 30. You can watch it right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We also have Thursday, looking like we're trying to line up Liam Coen for a show in Jack's Beach, Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock. So stay tuned on that. More to come. A replay of Jags postgame with Club 904 and me, O'Brien, coming up right after this on the network at actionsportsjacks.com if you missed any of it and you want more Jags conversation. Have a great Monday, everybody. Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League, known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports.